Hey, what's going on everyone? I appreciate y'all coming here and checking out this Fallout 76 video. In this one, I'm going to be sharing with y'all 76 secrets that you may not have known about. Some of these secrets I have never covered on the channel. A lot of these secrets though I have, and just decided to compile a bunch of them into one video for your guys' enjoyment. And keep in mind, I did update a lot of these secrets too in this video with some updated footage, because some of these secrets I covered literally years ago. So you may not have even ever seen some of these that I'll be sharing in this video. Hopefully you'll find this huge compilation enjoyable and you learn something new from this. I know this is a long one, but I figured you guys would appreciate having all of these compiled into one video instead of having to search through multiple videos to learn about these secrets and Easter eggs. They are all conveniently in this one video for you all to learn about if you didn't know about them. And on that note, please use the timestamps available as well, because once again, this is a long video, I know. So if you already know, the one that you're on in the video, feel free to skip to another one that you may not have known about. I wrote out everything I covered in this video in the description, just so you guys would also have the convenience to skip through to things you don't know. After all, this is the longest and most edited video I have ever made on my channel. I don't expect you guys to watch this in one sitting. This is one of those videos that's probably going to take multiple times coming back to actually finish it. Or you just have playing on the side while you're doing something else, like playing Fallout. But yeah, I did put a lot of love, effort, time, and editing into this. There's so much jam-packed into this video. I didn't just like quickly go over the secret and then skip to the next one. Now, I got pretty in-depth with a lot of these as well. And heck, some of these secrets are pretty in-depth themselves anyways. Like some of them do involve multiple steps. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into all of this now. Enjoy. Alrighty, so for this first secret, if you head over to around where I am on the map, literally right by the Whitespring North entrance and the Whitespring Golf Club, you could find this right here. You could find this sulfur water fountain, and this will cure all of your diseases if you drink out of it. So this will help you save a disease cure, or if you don't have any disease cures, this is a way you can easily get rid of your diseases. As you can see, if I go over to effects, something going on with my character right now is shell shock, action point drain from wounds. If I drink out of this water fountain though, check this out. Here's what will happen. You've recovered from shell shock. So yeah, this is an easy way to cure any of your diseases. Just head over to this location. It's literally right by the Whitespring Golf Club. I can see the Whitespring Golf Club right there. This will help save you plenty of resources over time. I know personally it's helped me out a lot. So I figured I'd start off with this one and share it. It's not difficult to find either. Okay, so this next secret I know many players miss because this is such a rare occurrence for this to happen. If you head over to the Slumber Mill Motel, which is located right over here at the Skyline Valley region, around the area across the street from the Slumber Mill Motel, you will find a government aid drop, as well as a note that goes along with this supply drop that you can find over here. Also, if you head over to this government aid drop, you will notice that it states inaccessible. And we figure out how to access this by going over to this note that we can find at the top of this roof that's right nearby it. As you can see, it states supply run. It'll be located on the table on top of this Red Rocket gas station. Here's what it says. I need you to go to the Red Rocket gas station and bring back whatever is in that supply crate. I don't care how long it takes. I don't care who else might want it. I don't care if God himself's got to throw down a lightning bolt to open it up. Don't come back empty-handed or let me down. Your lives will depend on it. Now, I don't know exactly who wants whatever was inside this supply drop, but the hint was in this note. It turns out you have to wait for lightning to strike this government aid drop to unlock it. It's freaking insane, and it is a totally random occurrence, it felt like anyways. I was waiting here for so long, but I finally managed to get a clip of this unlocking and showing the lightning striking this government supply drop. Heck, it even struck me too. So yeah, a very interesting secret that I know a lot of players missed, and I just had to share it in this video. It's awesome that the environment is part of this secret. Unfortunately, there's nothing too special though in the government supply drop. I managed to see this unlocked in game 3 different times, and yeah, figured out it's just randomized loot within it. And heck, some of the times you may come over here and the lightning has already struck the supply drops, so it'll already be unlocked for you. Yeah, keep that in mind. If it's already unlocked, that's because the lightning already struck it. And I'll be getting more into this environment and why there's even a storm going on over here further in this video. So stay tuned for that if you are curious about the Skyline Valley region. And for those of you that might be wondering, I did test to see if like a Tesla rifle could unlock it. I even led a feral lost ghoul over to it to explode nearby it, and yeah, none of that unlocked it, unfortunately. You literally have to wait for the lightning to strike this government aid drop for it to unlock. Just like how the note nearby gave us a hint about that. So yeah, anyways, moving along, you know those perfectly preserved pies that you can have a chance at winning out of the machines? Well, turns out there's a place where you can just find one where you don't have to win it. And a lot of players do sell these perfectly preserved pies in their vending machine for honestly an unreasonable price, to be real with you guys. But yeah, I'm just going to share with you guys where you can find this perfectly preserved pie, so you don't have to buy one from a vending machine or keep trying to win one out of those claw machines. All you got to do is just head over here to West Tech Research Center. Oh, would you look at that, my favorite public event is up too. I still got to cover this secret though. But yeah, once you get over here, you want to head to the top of this building. I'm going to show you all a way to get up there. Just take the route that I take in this video. I'm going to try to also show you all how to get up there without the marsupial mutation, which makes you jump higher, and without a jetpack, just to show you all that it is possible without those. There will be super mutants, of course, around in this vicinity when you're going up to the top. You should be alright. There's only a few of them. Yeah, right over here is where you can, you know, jump up to get up to this area. And once you get over here, you then just use these boxes and jump up here to get to this area. And then balance across this to the top of this building over here. You shouldn't need a jetpack or marsupial mutation once again to get this. So any player could come over here and get it. But yeah, you can find a perfectly preserved pie right up here on this. And if it isn't here for you, all you got to do is just hop servers and come back up here and check it. It just depends if a player has took it or not up here in the public server that you're in. I'm not exactly sure the time on when it resets and respawns back into the server, but yeah, keep that in mind. You can just hop to a private server though if you want like a guarantee of the perfectly preserved pie to be up here. And if you don't have offers for a private server and you're really wanting this pie, maybe you could join a buddy's private server and ask them if they mind if you could have their perfectly preserved pie from their server. It's worth a shot. I mean, the worst they can say is no. So this next one is going to be over at Tanagra town, which is located right over here in the Mire region. And when you get over here, you can find a door that you can unlock over here. This door is going to require a key code though inside this warehouse. As you can see, there's this keypad. And the code that you want to enter on this keypad is 748250. And that will unlock this door right here, which you can find the code for this door inside an Enclave bunker. Yeah, they were doing some research in here. Anyway, specifically what you want to get from within here is this right here, the Shielded Lining Operative Underarmor. This is a very handy underarmor to get your hands on, and also this is something that you could possibly sell in your vending machines. There's also some other loot that you can scavenge in here, but nothing as valuable as that underarmor plan. And for those of you wondering, where do you even discover the passcode to get into that secret lab at Tanagra town, you just head to the military wing in the Enclave bunker underneath the Whitespring Resort, and then once here you just head up to this military workstation, and on this military workstation you can find out the code by going to inbox and then to this log here, remote lab 1.2 access code. Once here you just navigate to the next page and it states the access code is 748250. Okay, so this next secret will be over a way on how to get the operative underarmor, just so you can use that shielded lining modification with the underarmor. It is really beneficial to use. So figured I would start this off with some beneficial secrets for you guys. So yeah, all you have to do is head over here to the Whitespring service entrance, and when you get over here, you'll have to head through this door here and then use this hand scanner. Which, by the way, in order to gain access to this place, you will have to do a certain quest within the Enclave Questline, which after I show you where to get this operative underarmor, I'll show you where to start the Enclave Questline. The quest that you have to do to gain access to this place isn't far at all in the questline either, so you can eventually unlock coming down here if you haven't yet. But yeah, once you get in here, you just head over here to this terminal that states Modus Production Terminal, And in here, sometimes he will sell operative underarmor, like here, for example. The Forest Operative Underarmor you can purchase from here. You can also find the Urban Operative Underarmor from here sometimes, and plans and stuff like that as well. So yeah, just be on the lookout within here. If you don't find what you want the first time coming here, you can just, hop servers, and in the new server there will be new things for you. But also, as you can see, you can purchase unique beneficial plans too for underarmors. Like you can find the Treated Lining Operative Underarmor from here for 176 caps. But the modification we got from Tanagra Town is better. But just letting you know, there are different plans here you can get. And also just letting you know, this isn't the only way to get the Operative Underarmor. You can also get it while doing the Enclave Questline, which I'll show you once again later where to start it. But yeah, during the Enclave quest called One of Us, you'll end up entering into the Enclave Vault, and you'll have to take your picture. And a little after you take your picture, you'll get an Operative Underarmor from a dispenser. It could be an Urban Operative Underarmor, or it could be a Forest Operative Underarmor. So yeah, you do get one of them just by going through the Enclave questline, but you can also conveniently purchase them from the Modus terminal that I showed you. Purchasing it is a way that you can get multiple of them easy. But yeah, once you got the underarmor, you'll then just have to head over to an armor's workbench and modify the underarmor. So if I go to switch to modify, since I purchased the Force Operative Underarmor, right now it has standard lining, I can add the shielded lining, as you can see. And look how much it boosts the stats over there. 2 perception, 3 strength, which those alone are freaking awesome. Those will help out your VATs and how much you can carry. Also benefits you with 5 radiation resistance, 13 energy resistance, and 9 ballistic resistance. And keep in mind, the Force Operative Underarmor has the same stats as the Urban Operative Underarmor. The secret Shielded Lining Operative modification that we found over at Tanagra Town is what gives it its awesome boost. Now, of course, this is just for the time being. The Operative Underarmor is a very useful substitute until you get the Secret Service Shielded Underarmor. As you can see, the Secret Service Underarmor is better than the Operative Underarmor. It gives 15 resistance to ballistic energy and radiation, and it gives 4 to strength instead of 3, and it also gives 4 to endurance as well as 2 to perception. So yeah, it is better, but the Operative Underarmor still is really useful to use until you get, once again, the shielded variant for the Secret Service one, which you can get the Secret Service Underarmor modifications from Rex, which is a Secret Service gold bullion vendor at Vault 79 that you can trade with after completing the Wastelanders questline, which that's the questline that involves the Raiders and Settlers. So yeah, keep that in mind. It'll cost you 450 gold bullion total to get the modification and Secret Service Underarmor. Also, it's good to know the Secret Service stuff isn't tradable, but the shielded Operative Underarmors are. So you could, sell these to players or give them away to players. Because as some of you may know, the Shielded Lining modification is the most beneficial modification to have on an underarmor. So players will definitely appreciate this kind of underarmor, especially if they don't have this kind of underarmor. It'll definitely help them out for a long time. But yeah, something useful to know about. Anyways, like I mentioned before, I'm going to be showing you all where to start the Enclave questline. And also, please keep in mind, if you need any help with any part of this questline, I'll have a complete dedicated walkthrough guide over this whole entire questline in the description for your convenience. It's a video that I made a while back ago, but it does get you through this entire questline. So if you do get stuck at any part, feel free to use that guide. Once again, the video link to that will be down below in the description. But yeah, to start it, you'll just have to head over here to the abandoned waste dump, which is way over here in the mire next to Tanagra Town. Once over here at the waste dump, you can enter it by going through this destroyed fence right here and then going inside the cavern that's on the other side of the fence. Once inside, beware, there will be a few death claws, but it is possible to just sneak around them. So if you are a really low level, you can still do this without having to fight them. A sneaky route that we can take to avoid the death claws will be on our left here inside this place, and then we're just going to want to go up this hillside, and this will actually lead to a sneaky route to Agent Gray, which is who we're going to have to find in order to begin the Enclave questline. But yeah, we can literally just walk right up these boards here, like they're a staircase, and this path will lead right over to Agent Gray's body. The agent's body will be located right down here in this crevice. We're just going to have to take Operation Summary Blackwell off of him to get to know a little bit more over what took place down here and what happened to Agent Gray. Taking this will also trigger a quest called Bunker Buster, which is the first quest we're going to have to take on. So yeah, after you start this quest, there'll be a few things that you'll have to do. Like the first thing you have to do is search through Deathclaw Nest to find something. But eventually, after, completing this quest, literally the next quest will be how you gain access to the Enclave Bunker, the One of Us quest. So you'll be able to purchase the Operative Underarmor, and you'll also get an Operative Underarmor too from going through the One of Us quest. You'll get it from the dispenser. I definitely recommend completing the entire Enclave questline because that's how you unlock nuking in the game. And as you know, nuking is extremely beneficial in Fallout 76. Speaking of nuking, something that you may not have known, if you nuke anywhere down here in the Skyline Valley region, which this is the area that was expanded on the map, the nuke will not hit the ground anywhere over here. As you can see, if you're at a distance from the Skyline Valley region, when the nuke is going off, you can literally see the nuke explode in the air. Look at this. You can see like some rings come out of the explosion. It looks different from your typical nuke explosion. And you can see this explosion happen from literally Vault 76. You can tell that it is exploding in the air. And once again, the reason why is because of the storm. As you can see, here is just a regular nuke blast going off from Vault 76 as well, just for comparison of how different it does look. I mean, there's a whole mushroom cloud that appears from, a nuke actually going all the way to the ground instead of exploding in the air. So yeah, that's the neat little secret feature the developers added in that goes with the lore and environment over what is going on over in the Skyline Valley region. I mean, you can still see the rings coming out from the explosion, but in comparison, it does look different if it fully hits the ground compared to it exploding in the sky. It also disappears quicker. It's like the storm absorbs the explosion. And because of this absorption, that means you and your camp are not affected by a nuke. I tested this. I literally nuked my camp and waited exactly where it was supposed to land, and all it did was make my screen turn white and the atmosphere turned orange, and I took like a little bit of radiation damage, not much at all, and then it stopped, and my camp was also unaffected. So yeah, you're in a protected zone technically over at the Skyline Valley region too. If you do want to place your camp over there, you are protected from nukes, which is something to keep in mind. Genuinely, I was confused about this at first because I would see a nuke go off, but I wouldn't see the blast radius anywhere on the map. I thought I was just lagging or something, but it turns out this is a feature that the developers implemented when nuking over in the Skyline Valley region. The blast zone doesn't show up on the map. So yeah, keep that in mind. And you probably already have noticed already from the gameplay footage, but each time you do nuke anywhere over in the Skyline Valley region, it will trigger the Neurological Warfare event, which this is a boss fight event where you'll have to take on 3 robotic storm Goliaths. And these are no joke, they are extremely tanky. I used to think that you had to nuke specifically the Hawksbill weather station because that's where the Neurological Warfare event spawns at, but you don't. As soon as the nuke explodes in the sky, it will trigger the event. And there is a reason because of that. It actually plays along with the lore over in this area. We can find a terminal at the Hawksbill weather station in the waiting area that we wait at before going to fight the Storm Goliaths. The area is called the Robot Testing Waiting Area. And up here, if you just head over here to these terminals, one of them you can get on. You will have to hack into it, but it requires a 0 skill level, so it's not that difficult to hack in. And once you're in, go to the access linked terminal, and once here, as you can see it states Project Storm Goliath, you want to then go to the automated deployment log. Here's what it'll state. If the vault is ever under high alert, the automated system from the engineering sector will deploy a Storm Goliath variant, Nona, Decima, and Morta, to stand ready to dispose of any intruders. With the resources at our disposal at Vault 63, the engineering sector will automatically construct a new unit if one should fall, allowing automatic deployment of reinforcements. The only way to stand down the alert is to have a Vault Tech representative de-escalate the alert in the engineering sector. So yeah, a nuke over here in this region is considered a high alert, so that's the reason why these Storm Goliaths spawn. And not to mention, we also figure this piece of lore out from the loading screen from traveling to the Neurological Warfare boss fight event. As you can see, it states, a nuke made the Hawksbill weather station send out an alert broadcast stating it was going to deploy defenses. You should go help de-escalate the alert. So, yeah, pretty interesting. And also, believe it or not, Hugo Stolz, the guy who created this man-made storm, didn't do it to defend against a nuke blast. He was actually creating this weather machine to create this storm to help save his wife, believe it or not. The reason why is because after the bombs first dropped, him and his family ended up becoming ghouls. I mean, luckily they wasn't feral ghouls yet, so it was like a blessing and a curse. They got granted immortality since they were a ghoul, but they eventually started becoming feral, which worried Hugo, and he wanted to save his family before they all became feral, especially his wife. So yeah, to make a long story short, he then decided to research ways to prevent ghoul feralization, and he found out exposure to the weather machine that was in Vault 63's meteorology area was found to briefly alleviate feralization. So impatient and desperate, in the year of 2095, he decided to activate this incomplete weather machine, and let's just say it backfired. His wife ended up becoming in a coma, and that started the creation of the Lost in Vault 63. That's how the Dwellers became the Lost. They became totally corrupted. However, he did find out, though, activating it did slow down the ghoul feralization process. But once again, his wife was just in a coma from it, though. So there was a little bit of positive, but mainly negative over activating it. But he decided to do it again in the year 2105, and this is when things just got way worse. And as some of you may know, 2105 is, around the year that we're experiencing Fallout 76. So yeah, it makes sense, because once he activated it again, this is what caused the huge storm to happen in the area, in the Skyline Valley region, and caused a lot of earthquakes in the area too, causing a lot of chaos and destruction around the environment. It even destroyed some of Vault 63, which chain reacted the Lost to escape out of the vault. So that's the reason why we see them around now down in the region. And also, it did seem to alleviate Cassidy's problems for brief moments after activating it. So that's what was encouraging him to keep doing this. We learn about why he is doing this, and each time he activated the weather machine at the end of the Skyline Valley questline. That involves Hugo Stolz and Vault 63, when he goes to try to activate it a third time. I'll go ahead and play a bit of dialogue over him talking about it here at the end.
You are a child. You understand nothing. Months ago, before we ever crossed paths, I stood here with Cassidy just as we had a decade ago. I ran this machine again, hoping, begging for a solution, and at worst, a release from this solitary life. The results were unexpected, more severe than my first attempt. The storm, you see? The shattering of the land around here? A result of that brave step.
Now we'll get these 3 dialogue options. Let's go ahead and just say to him, so what, third time's the charm?
This would imply it was a failure. It wasn't. I made great progress in my second attempt. I was able to calm my Cassidy. Suddenly, she responded to my will. She followed my footsteps. She looked me in the eyes again. In that moment of bliss, we fled away back to the atrium. Hand in hand, like school children, we ran while this devilish machine spun on, sowing destruction. I learned something important about the power I hold. I am the gravitational force they need. I am a vessel for this storm. I can move them, save them.
Let's go ahead and just say you have Cassidy back. Just stop here.
Only for brief, fleeting moments. For months, I've pushed Hilda and Audrey toward the solution. I knew it was in me, the signal to shepherd them. I just needed them to isolate it, decode it, replicate it. To teach our machine to dance to my song, to forge a true bridge between me and our lost children. But truly, the last missing piece was you, mein Freund. Without your drive, we'd have been stuck. So, before we end this for good, I do want to thank you again for being a catalyst for change. Now, let's finish this, shall we?
So yeah, there's a bit of dialogue over him talking about it before we go to fight him. Also, you can figure out when exactly he activated the weather machine each time after defeating him when you go to shut down the machine. As you can see here, if you go to activation logs, it states one of the times he activated it in the year 2095 at 1:16 p.m. and then he activated it again in the year 2105 at 6:41 p.m. And then months later, he tries to activate it for a third time, and then this is actually when we stop him. And for those of you wondering, does the storm still stop the nuke after powering down the weather machine? The answer is yes. It still explodes in the sky, so it's like the storm is in that area forever. It's like the machine chain reacted something to just stay there. At least so far. I don't know if the developers have plans to get rid of the storm in a future update or not, but so far the storm is still there even after we power down the weather machine. And also an interesting fun fact I just wanted to throw in here. In case you didn't know, Hugo Stoltz is actually blind. But after he activated the weather machine for the first time, it states he also gained the ability to see, perceiving the world though in pulses and wavelengths, as a universe of violent synaptic connections, carving out and outlining every object in person. So yeah, what drove others lost and mad turned out to be a blessing to him. Yeah, you end up figuring out Hugo is actually blind during the questline, and you can see him reading Braille at his desk too. Anyway, since we're on the topic over how things started, this next secret will be over something that you can discover that will help explain how the Scorched Plague started around Appalachia. If you head over to the Whitespring service entrance and head down to the Enclave bunker, which I've already explained previously in this video over how to enter this place, you will have to get through a bit of the Enclave questline to gain access to here. Once again, a video guide will be down below in the description over the entire Enclave questline if you're wanting to know how to do it. But yeah, once you're down in the bunker, you just want to head to the science wing, which just take the route that I've been taking in this video to get to the science wing. And once in here, you just want to head up to this terminal over here and then select surveillance recording entry 5.4.8. This will let you know how the Scorched Plague started. Check this out.
Whitespring, automated recording, 5.4.8.
So, you're telling me we're responsible for this thing? It's what, a mutated bird? Some kind of vulture or something?
Mr. Secretary, based on the physiology, we're assuming something originating from the Chiroptera order before undergoing changes. Bats, sir. But it's not just a result of radiation, sir. The specimen was inadvertently exposed to our biochemical test last year, considered a failure at the time.
How dangerous is it?
We're still establishing that, sir. Its mere presence seems to contaminate the immediate surroundings with a...
Can we make more?
Sir?
Can we reproduce this for the purpose of additional study?
With all due respect, sir, this potentially represents a grave threat to the personnel on site. And I'm not sure if this is...
I'm not asking for concerns. I want results. Do whatever you have to do. Keep this thing, study it, and report all your findings directly to me. Are we clear? And keep it off-site. Where you found it, preferably. One of those old AMS mining complexes, yes?
Yes, sir.
And for now, let's not burden any of the officer corps with worrying about this. Understood.
So yeah, it all started by the Enclave from a bat, surprisingly. This next secret that you probably didn't know is a bizarre one. The developers added a very strange detail that I haven't seen anywhere else around in the game over here on the map. It's located right next to Vault 76. You can find what seems to be a sacrifice that happened here. As you can see, you can find the skeleton that had its head chopped off, whoever was here, and there's a combat knife too right here. You can also find a few raiders around in this area too. But the strangest and unique thing about this location is this thing right here. I haven't seen a detail like this around in the game. Your screen literally gets like disoriented the closer you get to this, I don't know, this totem or whatever. If you look around it, look at what it looks like. It looks wavy. There's vines growing up out of it. And you also find some more corpse around it too. Also, a dead cultist as well right here. There's also some random items you can loot from the cultists. But, yeah. The oddest thing is this right here. I'll go ahead and remove this Brahmin skull from it. As you can see, it's a cultist totem. But it's just so bizarre how it has like waves going around it. If you look closely at the screen. Really weird. Don't know if this has anything to do with the Interloper or not, because there are these vines that are coming up from the ground. But nonetheless, this is definitely a strange discovery in the game. And if you want, you can place your camp here too. This is an interesting spot to place your camp. You got 2 raiders that'll hang out around this area too. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into this next secret. In this one, I'm going to be showing y'all a secret Pioneer Scouts treasure hunt that will lead you to a unique camp item that you can get. So you're going to want to head over to Camp Liberty to get this started, which is located down here in the new Skyline Valley region. It's located right here on the map. Over here at Camp Liberty, you will find a note on a bulletin board within the camp. Let me go ahead and head on inside. You will also come across a few enemies here and there, so be prepared for that. Specifically, a lot of communists. Shouldn't just say a few. Alright, I think it's cleared out enough. Anyways, right here in the... Oh, there's another one. Right here in the entrance of the camp, you just head right from this totem pole and head over to this bulletin board. And on this bulletin board, you can find the Pioneer Treasure Hunt start. Let's go ahead and read this Pioneer Treasure Hunt start. As you can see, here's what it says. A call for adventure. Discovery is one of the 5 main principles of the Pioneer Scouts. In the spirit of that principle, the Scout leaders have created a treasure hunt. Complete the riddle below and claim your prize. So, here's the riddle. If you want, you can try to follow along with this and figure it out. But here's what it states. Beyond vast falling waters in a lofty tower up high, lies a stream near a bog, which catches one eye. Follow me down past swampy trails I endorse to the source's route, where liquid tales course. Climb over my mouth and let your eyes see 3 large rocks in an old husk of a tree. Explore within where secrets disguise to uncover the truth and your well-deserved prize. So, to save you guys some time, we're going to be heading this way, up this stream over here and right next to Johnson's Acre. It'll be located right around here on the map. Let's go ahead and head there. There's still enemies nearby. And by the way, this totem pole right here that you see, well, let's just say this has something to do with the unique camp plan you're going to be getting from doing this little Pioneer Scouts treasure hunt secret. So I'm over here at Johnson's Acres now. I'm just going to head this way. Drop down. Head down this hill. And head in the woods over here. Should be right around here. Aha, here it is. So you can see the Pioneer Scouts emblems on these rocks here. Which, by the way, I didn't check this before. I'm pretty sure we can plop down a camp here too. Oh, dude, yes you can. So if you actually made a camp here, you could introduce more players to find this little hollowed out secret here. But yeah, I'll go ahead and pull up the map. It's located right here on the map. A little above the stream from the Shiny Creek Cavern. A little above this. Located right here. But yeah, over here, if you head up to this stump, you will notice that it is a hollowed out stump where you can grab the plan for the totem pole ornament, and there's also the Pioneer Treasure Hunt end. Let's go ahead and read the Pioneer Treasure Hunt end first. A call for adventure. End. Well done. Great work. You are clearly quite wise. You have solved my riddle and rightfully earned your prize. Just like Jefferson and Lewis, who went into the unknown, you have ended this journey with a story wholly your own. With a keen eye for adventure and some bravery in tow, you embody the spirit of the pioneers and ever upward you'll go. And there's a freaking roach attacking me. Ay, ay, ay. So we can now build this at our camp. So I'm going to go ahead and head over to my camp right now and show this off to y'all. Right, so I'm at my camp. If I go to new, which by the way, this will be located in floor decor. But yeah, if you go to new, once you learn it, you can plop down this little mini totem pole. Go ahead and put it right here on the table. And yeah, that's what it is, guys. A little secret mini totem pole figurine. Just like what we saw in Camp Liberty. Right around where we find the treasure hunt start. No, pretty cool. Except, of course, this is a smaller variant of it. Anyways, these next secrets will also be located over around Camp Liberty. Be warned though, at this area there will be a commie bear hanging around here. It'll be located right here on the map. And I just wanted to point this out because it's a little secret Pioneer Scouts trunk over here. You can see Marshall Mallow right here next to the trunk that you can loot. Also, there's a safe over here too that seems to be already unlocked with some goodies. And to top it off, over here there is a secret underwater cave that you can find. This is freaking amazing, and you can place your camp over here as well. And inside this cave you can find some gold veins, some aluminum veins as well, and some other goodies too. Just check the backpacks around in here, and you can also play on a guitar, and you can place your camp in here too, which is pretty cool. Alrighty, so up next here, I'm going to be covering the rare creature called the Owlet, as well as the rare recipe that you can get from taking out this creature. You probably haven't ever seen this creature in Fallout 76 before, because it only spawns in a few locations. One of the locations that I know of will be over at Haven Church in the Mire. You can actually find it on top of the roof of the church over here. Sometimes you may not find it, you might have to hop servers to find it, but yeah, an easy way to get up to the roof if you don't have the marsupial mutation is by taking this vine in the back of the church. You can use this to get up to the roof, and yeah, as you can see, you can find the Owlet up here, and it will move around up here, so be sure to just be looking around on the roof. Possibly use VATS to locate it a bit easier. Once again, if it's not here, just hop servers, and eventually you will find it up here on the roof. And I will mention, when you do take out the Owlet, you unlock a very rare recipe once you pick up the Owlet meat off of it. The recipe is Owlet nuggets, and it boosts your intelligence a little bit when you eat them. Another location that I know of where you can find the Owlet is over at the Deep, which is located right here. I will say it's way harder to actually find the Owlet over here alive where you can get the meats from it, because the crickets will already take it out by the time you go into the cave, but this is another location where you can find it at. Definitely a rare creature to discover in the game, and figured I would add it in this video. But yeah, let's go and move on to this next secret. So for this next one, speaking of the Deep, there's actually something very strange you can find inside of this place. Once inside the place, just take the route that I take within here. You'll have to go past the dead scuba diver that you find in here. And within the water, you can find a secret passageway over here. As you can see, it looks like a dead end, but if you dive down, you can go through this secret passage. And if you keep following this, eventually you'll discover this area over here. And this is a very strange and awesome looking location. And over here, you can find this strange creature, dead or alive, I'm not exactly sure. As you can see, here's what the thing looks like. It seems like it's dead, but who knows? Oh gosh. There's some crickets over here too, be warned of that. Forgot about this. But yeah, just look at this thing. It looks like someone else was here before us too, because there's a lantern right next to it. There's stuff floating around it too if you look closely. Very strange. And I gotta say, it looks amazing in this location where you can find this thing at. The lighting around in this area is awesome. You find a lot of fever blossoms and starlight creepers around in this area. But anyways, this next secret that I wanted to share with y'all will be something else that looks like what we just seen in the Deep except it looks more grown than what we just seen. It's like that one's the baby of this one. This one's located over at the Lucky Hole Mine. I have covered this a few times in the past, but I figured I would add it into this video just because this is a very strange discovery in the game. Probably one of the strangest ones in the game. This one and the previous one I just showed you. The baby of this one or whatever. I'm just going to go ahead and try to skip past these enemies and just go straight to where this thing is. It's pretty deep down in here in the Lucky Hole Mine, hidden away. You'll see. Just take the route that I take if you want to come here for yourself and check this out. A bunch of cultists are dwelling down here. I'm just taking the long way just to make sure everyone can be able to discover this thing. So yeah, once you get to this area here, you just have to go through this tunnel system, and then you go through this hidden way right here. Instead of going this way, you go through this hidden way right here that has a bush covering it. It's very secretive. And then once you're in this secret tunnel system, you then want to go through this secret tunnel system right here, through these vines. Down here is where this thing dwells at. It's actually called the Interloper. We figured that out by a holotape that we can find over in Point Pleasant. There's this guy named Jeff Lane that heard this thing calling to him to come to it. Very bizarre. It's probably why we see all these dead bodies down around it. Maybe all these guys were called to it by the Interloper getting inside their head to come to it. But yeah, it seems like they committed suicide here too with all the jars around it. And also you can see the tentacles of this thing move too. So it's like it's still alive, just in a deep hibernation or something. Very weird. That's why I said before with the smaller one, I don't know if that thing is alive or dead or not, but yeah, this is just very strange. I had to add this one into the video. It's giant too. I mean, here's the legs of it. Anyways, next up here, I'm actually going to be getting into a few secret holotapes that you can discover that go over this being down here, the Interloper, like I mentioned before. This is how I even know that this is what this thing is called. But yeah, I even made a little cinematic that goes along with these holotapes to help tell the story of what is said during these. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into this. The first one you can discover over at Point Pleasant. When you get over here to Point Pleasant, you just want to head up this way, and we're going to be making our way to the top of the building. So an easy way to get up there is just by heading this way and then head up this, and then over here just take these stairs up. And this is the building you want to get on top of. Be warned, there will be plenty of cultists that will try to attack you around this area. I just took them out for the sake of recording this. But inside here, you can find a holotape that states Interloper. There will also be some rad roaches in here, so be prepared for that. But as you can see, there's a holotape in here once again called Interloper. And I'm going to go ahead and play this as well as the cinematic that I made too, to help visualize what's being said instead of just the audio. And I just like making machinima, so this was fun to put together.
There are other things in this world now that cannot be explained. The end of the world has awoken. Something. We all know the Mothman is out there, stalking and watching us. But what of the unseen? There are things we can only glimpse in our minds. Great entities beyond our comprehension. The Mothman is a creature more like us than the unknowable horrors in the peripheral vision of our subconscious minds. No longer just a false memory now. I have heard a tale of this entity made real, deep in the earth. The storyteller was mad by any reckoning, but his story, no less true. My name is Jeff Lane, and I will lay bare this Watcher. No matter how deep I must go, I will come to know the true nature of the Interloper.
Okay, so that was one holotape that you can find over the Interloper. And as you heard, Jeff Lane was going to go out to find this creature so he can study it. So he trekked all the way down here to the Lucky Hole Mine. Once in here, this next holotape that you can find by Jeff Lane over the Interloper is located right up here. It looks as if he was camping out here. As you can see, it's called The Chosen.
The Interloper is here. I can feel it clearly. Last night, in visions more real than the senses, it called to me, and I go to it now. Signs are all around that I am not the only one to hear the call, though where they have failed, I will not, for it summons me alone in the end. Before I go deeper, for the truth revealed changes all. By its very nature, let it be known, in this world, the Interloper has chosen Jeff Lane as the conduit of the unknowable. Together, the hidden reality becomes manifest at long last.
So yeah, there you have it. There's the hidden holotapes over this secretive creature that dwells at the bottom of Lucky Hole Mine. That goes by the Interloper, interestingly enough. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed the visualization too over these holotapes. Put a lot of time into those a while back ago. Okay, so these next secrets will involve one big one. I'm just going to count these as two. The first thing that you want to get that's a part of this secret is the cell key that you can find over at Huntersville. As you see, Huntersville is located right here. Once over here, you just want to head through town. There's going to be, of course, plenty of super mutants that you will run into over in this area, so be warned of that. But yeah, you can find this hidden cell key that we're going to be able to use that's part of this secret over here within this house. You're going to have to run through town, open up this gate here, and inside this building at the top floor you can find a bed, and underneath the bed here you can see cell key W9FZ was hidden right here. So yeah, that's one part of this secret. So once you got that key, the next part of the secret will be located over at Sugar Grove, which is located right here. Over here there's a secret area that you can discover that you probably didn't know about. That's the reason why I went and got the cell key first, because once again it involves this secret area that you can discover. But yeah, when you're over here at Sugar Grove, first off what you want to do is head inside this place, and we're going to be finding another hidden key. This one is also just as hidden, something that you could easily miss. But yeah, once you're inside the place here, just take the route that I take. It's not too far in here. We're going to be heading to this place right here, the DEF CON room or whatever. Once you're here, you just want to head this way, and we're going to be heading into the back corner of this place. It's like a little maze of terminals back here. But yeah, you can find a hidden key right here. It's called the Black Site Guard Key. Once again, in the corner of this place. Extremely hidden, right? So once you got this key, now we can access even more areas within the secret area. We'll also be able to use that cell key that we picked up over at Huntersville too. The reason why I counted this as two secrets is because the key over at Huntersville is in a completely different area than what you could find over at this location at Sugar Grove. Anyways, now we just want to head back outside, and the secret area here that you probably didn't know about is located at the back of this building. So just head to the back of this place, and there's going to be a locked door back here that you can unlock by hacking this terminal. It's a super easy terminal to hack into. It's literally a level 0 one, so shouldn't be no problem. And yeah, once you unlock it, you'll be able to gain access to this secret area. Okay, so yeah, once in here, now we can use that Black Site Guard Key to gain access to this secret place that's at the back of Sugar Grove, as you can see. And down here, you're gonna find some unusual things happening. You'll also find a few enemies that you can take on too, but nothing too difficult. You're gonna find plenty of loot down here as well. Like right off the bat here, we got a safe that we can unlock if you want. There's plenty of things that you can loot down here. And also to gain entry to a lot of these places, it's going to require that black site guard key that we found hidden inside Sugar Grove. As you can see, they were doing some unusual experiments down here. I'll get into the lore in a little bit over this place, but for now I'm just going to give you a quick tour over this secret place. As you can see, look at this. What's going on here? Something extremely unusual. It's like they were doing experiments on them. Honestly, this gives me vibes from the Memory Den of Fallout 4. I mean, not exactly like it, but it just gives me vibes of it. It just gives me Institute and Enclave vibes going on down here. But yeah, that's definitely not all that we can find down in here that's unusual. As you saw earlier, we picked up a cell key, and that cell key is used to unlock one of the cells down here too. But like I mentioned before, there are multiple other cell keys, and you can find them right here. You can see, here's one cell key, here's another, and here's another. So now we got 4 different cell keys. And once again, there's more things that we can loot around in the vicinity. Just be sure to be searching around in this area. I'm not going to go over all the loot that you can find down. Just going over the key things down here, such as unlocking this door with the cell key. You see, here's inside this cell, and keep in mind there may be some random items that will spawn in each of these cells. Right now, nothing spawned in this one, unfortunately. But carrying on, here's another cell that we can unlock. Inside here, there's a loot container, chem box, some canned dog food. Obviously, they wasn't treating the prisoners in here so great. But carrying on, inside this one, there's plenty of things that you can loot. 2. It's like a little armory in here. And there's a safe, once again, right here, too. Keep in mind that sometimes different items will spawn on these shelves. Like, you could find a fusion core, potentially, sometimes on these shelves and stuff like that. Just because you don't see the items spawn for me during this tour doesn't mean you won't find some items, some static items just around in the area. But here's another cell that we can unlock. We can unlock this one thanks to the key that we found over at Huntersville. Not a whole lot going on in here, but we can tell that this is supposed to be a top secret area. After all, this place is labeled a black site place. Not exactly sure if Bethesda has plans to maybe update this location in the future or something when, you know, they start introducing the Enclave more. I don't know. But yeah, at the moment there's nothing too significant that we can find down here. But we can find some interesting lore though that describes what was happening at this top secret area. Anyway, speaking of the lore, let's go ahead and get into that next. Right next to those bizarre rooms that I told you it looked like they were doing experiments on people at, well, it turns out they were doing experiments on people. We can find this out by going up to the director's terminal right here, once again next to the strange rooms. It's literally right next to a window that's observing these rooms. As you can see here, you are going to have to hack into this terminal, which it's super easy once again to hack into this. It's going to require a level 0 skill level. So yeah, once you're in, you'll have a bunch of different logs that you can read about the different experiments they were performing on these Somnus agents. And fun fact, Somnus in Latin means sleep. So these were sleeper agents, which makes sense because they were totally hypnotized and wasn't aware of what they were doing. That's why when you hack in this terminal, it states Project Somnus. This was a project by the United States Navy and government of hypnotizing people and making them do things that they weren't even aware they were doing. Check this out. If we click on the first log here, General Notes, here's what it states. Need to cut down indoctrination and reprogramming time. Current averages are at about 3 days. If we could get this average down to 1 day or a matter of hours, it would greatly reduce suspicion. Until then, we will need to continue to rely on individuals with no immediate family. Despite our original expectations, individuals with lower mental aptitude are actually worse for the program than more intelligent individuals, because we still need to work within the confines of the human brain. Smarter people are better able to carry out orders without error, and can improvise to occlude their purpose if they are caught. Factors other than intelligence seem to influence malleability. After what happened with Somnus Agent AJM1068, it is evident we need to speed up our progress on the ability to deprogram individuals. So they were brainwashing and programming individuals to do operations for them, and then they would just send them back after the operation was done, so there wasn't as much suspicion of them going missing. Also, they would prefer to do these experiments on more lonely people, so suspicion wouldn't happen as fast of them missing for a few days or whatever. As you can see here, for an example of this person they experimented with, it states, exhibits signs of resilience to reprogramming. Double next session. If she still manages to resist, a partial wipe may be in order. We can always drop her outside her home and make it look like a late night bender. Her propensity for overindulging in alcohol is one of the reasons we chose her for this exact reason. So yeah, they were able to return her after experimenting on her without as much suspicion. Freaking creepy, right? And check this out. Here's another example of another agent they were working on. The last person that they experimented on this terminal, it was a self-described avid hiker, as you can see here. So no one questions her frequent disappearances. We can use her to collect data from the wooded mountainous areas nearby. On a trial basis, we have been experimenting with inserting a wide range of combat tactics, mostly revolving around martial arts. This person has shown much promise in accepting these techniques, completely unaware to her conscious self. Indeed, it appears this person managed to foil a bank robbery by employing hand-to-hand combat, with no recollection of the incident. Luckily, the official newsprint story attributes it to a sudden, instinctual rush of adrenaline triggered by the stress of the situation. So yeah, this was happening pre-war too. Keep in mind these experiments. So yeah, keep in mind these experiments were happening pre-war, before the bombs dropped. But yeah, really interesting secret backstory that you can find down here that, once again, a lot of players probably missed. Definitely recommend coming down here and doing some exploration yourself and reading up on all of these logs of the Somnus project, of these sleeper agents they were creating. But yeah, anyways, this next secret will be over a big old Easter egg that you can find in Fallout 76 referencing The Shining. In case you don't know what The Shining is, it started off as a book written by Stephen King and then eventually became a pretty well-known movie. The movie was made in 1980 and the book was published in 1977. So 3 years after the book was made, the movie came out, and this was extremely popular back in the day and still till this day is used as a reference in some games such as here and also in other movies. This will be located over here at the Torrance house, and right off the bat here, this location alone is a reference to The Shining. The Torrance family are the main characters. There's Wendy, Danny, and Jack Torrance. And I will mention Jack Torrance is played by one of my favorite actors, Jack Nicholson. Dude is a legend. But anyways, when you come to this place, you just simply want to make your way upstairs. And don't go all the way up to the top, just head to this level and go left over here. You're just going to want to make your way to the end of this balcony, and you'll find some blocks that spell out Red Rum, which is murder spelled backwards. And this was used in the movie a couple times. Red Rum. And not to mention this tricycle next to these blocks that spell out Red Rum, I think is signifying how the little boy, Danny Torrance, would, ride around his tricycle. I don't know if that's actually signifying that, but still, Red Rum is definitely a clear indication. Also, not to mention, if you come down here in the maze, which is also a part of the movie The Shining, you can find some valuable loot around. There's a steamer trunk, there's a safe I know in here, and not to mention some robotic enemies. But what really signifies this maze to be referencing The Shining is this fire axe here that's next to the skeleton. In case you don't know, Jack Torrance went completely psychotic with a hatchet. Kind of reminds me of a time when I went absolutely crazy on a door years ago, back when I was in high school. If you haven't seen my old intro, well, here it is.
What's a pop lump in YouTube? Rival gaming here!
Yep. That was me. I have no idea. But anyways, there's a part where Jack Torrance chases Wendy and Danny Torrance through the maze. And that's kind of what this maze here is signifying. You can find a skeleton, and next to the skeleton will be a fire axe which is signifying Jack Torrance. And also there is a skeleton here that might be signifying Wendy Torrance. I don't really know. But there is a safe next to this woman skeleton. And also if you come to the very top of this building as well, you can find two skeletons, you know, getting it on, and blocks spell out hubba hubba. I thought this was pretty funny. Just thought I'd add it. It isn't really a reference as far as I know anyways. This may be a reference to something, I don't really know. Okay, so next up here I have you a Alice in Wonderland reference. If you come over here toward Anchored Farm and head up the hill, you will notice that you can find a table randomly back here in the woods, and it looks as if it's some sort of party with the balloons going on and what's on the table, and not to mention all the different chairs surrounding it. This is actually indicating the tea party that happens within Alice in Wonderland. As you can see, here are a few pictures, which, to give a little bit of background on Alice in Wonderland in case you don't know much about it, it was written in 1865 by English author Charles Lutwidge Dodgson, also known as Lewis Carroll. As you can see, here's what the dude looked like. And yeah, ever since he's written this book, it's just chain reacted further and further in the future. From 1865, I mean, the first movie that was ever released for Alice in Wonderland, as you can see here, in 1903 as a British silent film. It's crazy how much this has progressed into the future and becoming what it is today. I mean, what, Alice Through the Looking Glass released in 2016? That shows that it's still progressing since 1865. But yeah, I think I am speaking too much of this Easter egg. Let's go on to the next one. Anyways, this next secret will be located over at Uncanny Caverns. This area is actually based off a real place in real life. Most of the locations around in this game is based off real locations, but Uncanny Caverns specifically is based off the Lost World Caverns located in Lewisburg, West Virginia. And what's interesting is at the Lost World Caverns, there is this child that was found that went by Bat Boy. He was a large-eyed, fanged human child raised in complete darkness by bats. Bat Boy's shrieking face burned itself into the brains of a generation of rabid tabloid readers. So yeah, it's pretty freaky what the child ended up looking like and how he survived in here in complete darkness. Actually, speaking of that, inside the Uncanny Caverns, you can go on a tour in here. There will be these buttons next to these numbers, like for instance here in the beginning, but I'm just going to skip to the parts where it talks about the Night Kid. This is just like in real life. If you visit this place in real life, you'll learn about Bat Boy, and if you visit this place in the game, well, you'll learn about Night Kid, which is, of course, referencing Bat Boy. Also, in real life, you'll learn about the caverns too, just like how you learn about the caverns in the game as well. But I'm just going to skip to the parts where it talks about Night Kid. Check this out.
Before you is the entrance to the Night Kid room, where the mysterious half-man, half-bat was first discovered. Night Kid was found in complete darkness and surrounded by bats. He was 2 feet tall, weighed 19 pounds, and had been feeding on moths to survive. You can explore this part of Appalachian history and more at a reasonable price as part of our Wild Cave Tour, sold separately. Head right to continue the tour. Please let members of premium guided tours pass before proceeding.
So yeah, that's one of the little secret Easter eggs to Bat Boy in here. Also, by the way, inside the cave in here, there's nothing really that useful. I mean, you can find some junk you can loot and whatnot, but nothing out of the ordinary. You don't see like Bat Boy or something in here. But also, there's another part where the tour brings up Night Kid, aka Bat Boy, at the 6th button for the tour. Check this out. Here's what's said. It goes over how he survived.
In front of you is the Halfling Hole, the second stop on our guided Wild Cave Tour. The Halfling Hole, so named for its cozy size and quaint surroundings, features a natural pool with water so pure it has to be tasted to be believed. It is thought that the reason Night Kid was able to thrive for so long here is the abundant sources of shelter, fresh water, and bugs for protein. Head right to continue the tour. We remind guests to please not enter the Halfling Hole without a premium tour badge.
So yeah, pretty interesting, right? I never knew about this until, well, I played Fallout 76, to be real with you guys. I may have to give this place a visit sometime in real life, just to experience being inside the cavern that Bat Boy somehow managed to live in. Seriously, absolutely insane if you think about it. And also, I did test out if this water is actually pure. Nope. It gives you radiation. If you collect it or try to drink it, it's not pure anymore. But either way, let's move on from this secret Easter egg that you might have missed. This next one's going to be a pretty scary secret that you may not have known about. It'll be located right over here next to Vault 76. Over here, you can find the Sickleman house. There's just some strange things happening at this place. Go ahead and give you guys a tour. You can find some dried up blood outside of the house right here. Start it off. Inside here, there's not much going on. You can get some loot and whatnot from in here though, if you want. Not much going on in here. But if we head over here on the back porch, we can find a bunch of skulls within the hot tub. Seems like whoever was here might have had the heads within the hot tub with them while he was in there or something. I don't know. This is just very strange. Just a bunch of skulls in this hot tub. And if we go below this deck, we can find something also strange. Down in here, we can find a bunch of the bodies. These corpses belong to the skulls that were in the hot tub above. At least it makes sense. I'm not exactly for sure if the skulls in the hot tub belong to these corpses down here, but they're all headless down here, so it makes sense. Just putting two and two together. And on the wall down in here, we can find something that states Sickleman is here. And fun fact, this used to say Sickleman was here. The developers updated this place to make it state Sickleman is here. Pretty interesting. So yeah, the Sickleman is supposed to be an unknown serial killer that could be roaming Appalachia. At the moment, though, there's no confirmation of who he or she is, but some behind the scenes of how the Sickleman even came to be in Fallout 76. As you see here from one of the developers in 5th grade, Nathan Perkypile, he wrote a series of scary stories in which Sickleman was featured as a character. His teacher was not too keen about the subject matter in these stories, and she made his parents come in to discuss what he was writing in school. However, in the end, Perkypile decided to channel the appreciation for monsters and other weird things into his eventual career as a video game artist. So yeah, he added something he made up when he was a kid. And also he made sure to add as well, in response to fan theories around Sickleman, Nathan Perkypile called any such theories an absolute load of conspiracy theory nonsense. So yeah, once again, there's no confirmation of who the Sickleman is. Either way, an interesting little secret you may not have known about. But yeah, speaking of Sickleman, there's another little secret that you might have missed that links with the unknown serial killer by speaking to Stephen Scarberry. This is an ally that you can get in your camp. If you missed this ally from the previous season, you could purchase them from the gold bullion vendor over at Foundation, the settler settlement, if you have max settler reputation. But yeah, one of his dialogue options, he actually speaks of the Sickleman. This guy has a lot of dialogue that he says, but if you ask Stephen about his pilgrimage, sometimes he will say this about the Sickleman.
Not yet. I did see something strange. Have you heard of a man with a sickle going around removing heads? Seems someone lost their mind and is seeking to take it from another.
Pretty interesting how he brings up the secret serial killer. But yeah, carrying on here though. So this next secret will be over Alpine River Caverns. This is a spooky location, and this secret will help solve the mystery behind this place. Probably would have been better if I came to this place at night to show off what all happens here. But when you come here, you will hear a woman screaming very creepily. I'll go ahead and wait for the scream. So yeah, you guys heard that right. Very strange. Also, inside the place in the cabins, they'll randomly shake. Did you just see that? It's shaking in here. The whole cabin. And if you look closely on the walls, you will find out that the picture frames will move by themselves. Okay, you guys just saw that, right? You heard the scream in the background, and the picture frames moved in this cabin. It actually happens in all of the cabins. You'll find out that they all shake, and the picture frames move within all of them. Also, something else strange is the doors will shut automatically here too. Gotta say, this would be pretty handy for our camps, having doors automatically shut. But yeah, all of this is actually happening from a terminal that's in a treehouse nearby. It's like some kind of Scooby-Doo thing happening here, where they're just scaring the people that are coming to the cabins, making people believe the place is actually haunted. And you can find the terminal by following the wires on the power poles. As you can see, there are intercoms on top of the power pole. That's where we're hearing the screams from. The screams are coming from these intercoms. But yeah, if we just follow this wire, it'll lead up to the treehouse over here. And within this treehouse, you can find this terminal, and check this out. You can control everything that we were experiencing down in the cabins. All of the haunted things that we were experiencing down at the cabins can all happen from an automated sequence on this terminal. So someone doesn't have to be here at this terminal to make the things happen down at the cabins. This is just crazy. I gotta say, in the beginning when I was first playing this game, I legitimately thought this place was haunted and we'd be able to see like a ghost at a specific time here or something. But no, everything is happening from this terminal up here, as you can see. It's just like a huge prank people were doing on the people who were staying here at these cabins for some reason. I don't know why. But anyway, since we've been on the topic of, spooky little things that you might have missed in Fallout 76, this next one is going to be over the Smiling Man, otherwise known as Indrid Cold. Figured I'd keep the ball rolling here of the spooky theme. One of the locations where you can find this strange, creepy guy will be located over here. Keep in mind, he is a random encounter though, so he won't always spawn here. But here's what he says when you go and approach him and talk to him.
Yesterday upon the stair, I met a man who wasn't there. He wasn't there again today. Oh, how I wish he'd go away. Salutations! Do not be afraid. I do hope I have found you well.
There's quite a bit of dialogue options to choose from. To start off here, let's just go ahead and say nice jacket, buddy.
I am cold. You may call me Indrid. What are you called?
So yeah, we'll get even more dialogue options to choose from. Let's go ahead and just choose the option that states tell him your name.
Of course it is. The pleasure is mine. So nice to see a smiling face.
Now let's ask him, what do you want from me?
Not from you. For you. I want only happiness for you. I have been away a long time. It appears that much has changed during my absence. I have such sights to see. Perhaps you can recommend a local peculiarity.
I gotta say, this guy is one interesting character with loads of dialogue options to choose from. As you can see here now, there's even more we can talk to him about. Now let's go ahead and say this to him. You should try to find the Mothman.
An enlightened idea. I shall do just that. You have my thanks for your time and company. Before I forget, I must go. I do hope to see you again.
So yeah, that's some of the dialogue from him. As you can tell, the developers added loads of dialogue options to choose from with them. But yeah, and for those of you that are curious what happens if you go and try to kill this guy, well, here's what happens. It's actually pretty interesting.
Smile, and the whole world smiles with you.
He'll just vanish in smoke, very similar to how the Mothman vanishes. This guy is very mysterious. Also, it's good to know that the ally Stephen Scarberry, the one who worships the Mothman, has seen the Smiling Man around Appalachia too. Here's what he'll say about him.
Not yet, but I did see something strange. A very friendly man. While his personality was cold, he could not shake his smile. I feel as though we were looking for similar things.
Interesting enough, this guy is actually based off real life. He was cited a couple times by people. As you can see, here's a drawing of apparently what he looked like. He was described as possibly being an alien or associated with the CIA. Some described him like a person from the Men in Black movie. people have speculated him to be connected with the Mothman. One of the second sightings of him was around the same area and time as the Mothman came about in West Virginia. A guy named Woodrow Derenberger described coming across the Smiling Man. He mentioned how the guy came up to him and said telepathically to him that his name was Indrid Cold and he meant no harm. He told him he wanted to know more about the human race and apparently even visited Woodrow again too. Yeah, very strange and creepy. That's just a little bit about the story of the Smiling Man. I suggest looking into him sometime. Alright, so this next one's going to be over a fun secret little feature the developers added in over here at Johnson's Acre. It's located way down here, near the bottom of the map. But yeah, when you get over here at Johnson's Acre, up here on top of the rocks, and oh, would you look at that? A vengeful Mothman here. What the heck is going on? This thing isn't leaving. Oh, that's a cool picture. I did not expect this to happen. I guess sometimes you'll even see the Mothman here. But anyways, getting a little distracted here. At the top of this mountain, which you can get up here by just wrapping around, as you can see, this will take you to the top of this cliff. You can find these traps that you can activate to make these bodies go flying off this cliff. Or you can make possibly yourself or your buddies go flying off this too. This is just something fun the developers added in the game for players to discover. Okay, so that's about it for this secret. And keep in mind, if the traps are already broken when you come up there or something, and you're wanting to use them, you just gotta hop servers until you find some that are working to throw the bodies off the cliff, or whatever you're trying to do with them. But yeah, next up here, we're going to be getting into clowns. There's actually quite a few secrets over clowns, and the first one I'm going to be showing y'all is the secret clown random encounter NPCs that you can discover. One place that you can potentially discover them is right over here next to the Foundation Outpost, around where the eviction notice event pops up on the map. So yeah, over here you can find clowns, and different kinds of clowns will spawn, and they have some unique dialogue. I'll go ahead and play a little bit of what they say.
Every second without laughter brings us closer to death. Oh, I just can't wait to make everyone laugh. Waiting around will be the death of me. Oh, I love company. It's the soul that's oversized, not the shoe. We're all just minds in a soundless world. Don't look so sour. If only I had a flower for you. Tragedy? This was supposed to be comedy.
And when you go to interact with them, they'll just laugh. But anyways, now I want to get into something pretty interesting that some of you may not have known about. Around when the expeditions and stuff were coming into the game, Bethesda added this strange clown that you can sometimes find in the Whitespring Refuge. This is a really random encounter. It's a pretty rare one to come across inside of here. You can only find him when the anxious refugee is around in the Whitespring Refuge as well. They play a part with one another. But yeah, this clown is like from outer space or something. Literally, did Bethesda add this in for like a little Easter egg to killer clowns from outer space? Because, I don't know. It just speaks a whole nother language. It's so bizarre. But the people next to this clown for some reason can understand it. It's just, I don't know. This is just extremely bizarre. I'm just going to go ahead and play this little random encounter out for you guys. Check this out. What did the clown say? And why is the clown's eyes all black? Like literally, there's no pupils on whatever this clown is. I like it how his name has quotation marks around it. Like, is this really a clown or is this just something he goes by or something to keep him in disguise? Anyways, carrying on, after he says that, we now have two choices we can choose from to say to the partygoers. As you can see, we can say, what? Or please don't kill me, Mr. Clown. Let's go with the first one. Let's say, what?
Duh. He said, "Are you here for the party?"
So yeah, oddly, they can understand him. I don't know what's going on here. But anyways, carrying on here, we have 3 choices we can choose from here. We can say, what party? Why is that clown holding a knife? Where I have to go. Let's go with the first one. What party?
We're throwing a surprise party for our friend.
We've been preparing for a month now. We got hats, a clown, everything.
Alright, now let's ask, why is that clown holding a knife?
We found a bunch of pre-war movie posters and saw the clowns always had knives.
We thought it'd be fun to try and recreate some pre-war traditions for this party. Like surprising the guests and clowns.
Gotta say, didn't expect those kind of responses. And why are they talking for the clown? Why doesn't the clown just talk for himself? I gotta say, he's staring pretty hard at us. He's staring straight through our soul. I don't know, this is so bizarre. Anyways, let's just say now I have to go.
Please don't mention the party to anyone. We want to keep it a surprise.
Alright, now before I carry on with this random side mission encounter that you can do, I just want to see what they say if I say, "Please don't kill me, Mr. Clown." Let's see how they react to that.
You scared of clowns or something? He said he here for the party.
Oh, wow. Okay. Now, to carry on with this, what we have to do is go find the anxious refugee. Here's what he says when you find him and talk to him.
Ah! Don't sneak up on me like that.
So that's how he reacts when you go and talk to him. Let's say, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you."
No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have reacted like that. I'm really on edge lately. I hate surprises, and I suspect my friends are planning something for my birthday. Maybe you could help me. Do you think you could investigate and see if they're actually planning something? All I need is a photo of the evidence.
Oh, okay. Let's say, but the whole point of a surprise is to be surprised.
From the joy of discovering new irradiated creatures to finding skeletons in fridges, I've had enough surprises for a lifetime. Out there, I don't have a choice. And here, if I can avoid being spooked, I'm going to avoid it. I just want some part of my life to feel in control.
Okay, so that's the reason why he doesn't want to be surprised. Let's just say now, sure. Any idea what to look for?
I heard rumors of a surprise party, so it's likely there are folks in the Refuge dressed for it. Please bring me a photo of the partygoers. Oh, and please don't talk to them. Just take the photo. I don't want them to know that I'm doing this.
Okay, so we know who to actually look for. That just ended the dialogue with them. Anyways, now let's go back to the partygoers that were planning the surprise for him and talk to him.
Duh. He said, "Are you here for the party?"
Now, here we have another option available. As you can see, we can say, "Your guest of honor asked me to photograph your party."
They know we're throwing a surprise party? Dang it, I told you all not to talk about it in public.
Hold on. Why do they want a photo?
Now, there's a couple dialogue options that we can choose from here. Let's go with this one, though. They heard you were throwing a party and wanted proof.
Well, that defeats the purpose of a surprise party, doesn't it? How typical of them. Always ruining surprises. It's like they're scared or something.
I don't know where we are, so the surprise isn't completely ruined. What do you think we should do?
Now, there's 3 different choices we could choose from here. We could say have a normal party without the surprise. I'll let them know where to find you all. Or we could say pretend I never talked to you. Or we could say I'll tell your friend there isn't a party. That way they'll be double surprised. Let's go with the first one. Have a normal party without the surprise.
You're right. The important thing is the party. The surprise isn't the fun part. It's the party.
You should probably still take them a photo so they know where to find us.
Alrighty, so now we just have to snap a picture of them and then go back and talk to the anxious refugee. We're going to be having a surpriseless party. So yeah, let's go back and talk to him.
You're back. Did you find any evidence of a surprise party?
Let's tell him now it's just a normal party. Here's a photo.
Oh, wow. This is really nice of them. I'm going to head over now. Thanks for helping me relax. I hope nothing sneaks up on you during your travels.
So I guess this is kind of like a good way to end this for him, and we get rewarded 50 caps for helping him out. This also works toward the achievement as well, where you have to help 10 random encounters in the Whitespring Refuge, which is located right here on the map, by the way. Yeah, this is just one of the random encounters that you can run into in here. But anyways, yeah, here's how it ends. Here's how the party goes.
Surprise!
Is this my party? This looks amazing! You have hats, a clown, and everything.
Happy birthday! Here's to many more years of us all making it out here in this wild wasteland.
Alright, and here's what they say when you go to talk to them after they meet up.
Thanks for helping us figure out what to do for this party.
Thanks for helping us figure out what to do for this party.
Thanks for helping me out. This made me feel better.
So yeah, this is pretty cool. It's nice that Bethesda added something extra for us to do inside the Whitespring Refuge that we can run into. And it could be something brand new to us. But yeah, I figured I'd share this since we were on the topic of clowns. Also, I did try shooting the clown and whatnot, and nothing happened. The bullets just go right through them all. Can't do any kind of damage to them. Now, some of you may realize that this clown looks familiar for those of you that have done all the Worlds of Stage quest, because during that quest, we can fight a clown named Dimples, and he looks identical to the strange clown that we find. Here's how the fight goes.
Who is that wearing my oversized shoes? You think just anyone can honk and giggle? You made me a punchline!
Oh.
I'll make you pay with your funny bone. I'll twist your neck like a balloon.
Optional. Confront the Star Clown.
Clowns and showmen, brace yourself for an unexpected encore. For this impersonating intruder cannot be allowed to leave unpunished. This is now an open fire venue. Proceed calmly to the nearest exit, or grab your gun and join the fun.
Shouldn't have tried me, guys. Shouldn't have tried me. Poor Dimples. I tried to go the peaceful route, but he wanted beef, so I served it to him. Yeah, pretty crazy. We literally have like a clown showdown near the end of that quest. And Dimples does resemble that clown that we can find in the Whitespring Refuge. However, we can understand what Dimples is saying. We can't understand what that clown is saying for some reason. Nonetheless, just wanted to point that out because some of you may be thinking, this clown looks familiar. And well, that's the reason why we go against them during a quest. And if you didn't know that, well, now you know. But I gotta say, Fallout 76 has came a long way with clowns in their game from the It Easter egg, where we can find a clown holding a red balloon in the refrigerator. We can find this downstairs in the kitchen at the Whitespring Golf Club. This has been around since the get-go. And now look, there's multiple different scenarios of clowns in Fallout 76. Not just this doll in the fridge holding the red balloon, just like the red balloon we see in It. Anyways, so next up here, I wanted to discuss this amazing secret Bethesda added over in Atlantic City. And it has to do with clowns. I'm going to be giving y'all a whole walkthrough over this whole secret. So yeah, let's get into this. I gotta say, this is a pretty spooky one, but unique and interestingly mysterious as well. You'll see. Let's get into this. First things first, we're going to be heading on over to Atlantic City and going specifically over to the boardwalk. Now you can start an expedition and head over here and find a secret, or you can just travel to District and find a secret. Totally up to you. I'm just going to go ahead and travel to District, since that's one of the new features that was added within the most recent update. We're able to just travel over to Atlantic City without, doing an expedition. It's pretty nice. There's more NPCs around and stuff, and yeah, we're not on like a mission when we're over here. So when you get over here, you want to head on over to that building right there. Something really strange inside there.
Protect and serve.
I'm actually going to turn off the sound effects for the NPCs that talk, just because I want you guys to hear what happens when we do something in here. Okay. Alright, the NPCs' voices are off. Now let's head inside here. It is going to be locked, so keep that in mind if you go and try to do this for yourself. Yeah, when we unlock this place and enter inside here, you're going to notice straight off the bat this corpse with a clown inside of it, with blood splattered on the wall. You can also see like scratches on the wall, and I don't know, just a lot of bizarre things. Definitely something went down in here, right? And right next to this body, you can find a text on the wall that states "He is seen," with this picture frame right here with a Bowie knife in front of it, some gumdrops, and eyeballs in front of the picture frame as well. We're going to be finding more of these eyeballs around, not just here. I'm telling y'all, this is a strange and spooky Easter egg in the game. It's probably one of the spookiest ones in Fallout 76, honestly, and there's some pretty spooky ones. But yeah, here's what happens when we pick up this small picture frame with a clown on it. You'll notice that the door shuts immediately out of nowhere, and our screen starts acting really weird. It's like we just got poisoned or something, right? Really weird. It's getting a little blurry here. States he is seen right here. And this starts playing out of nowhere. Yeah, what the heck, right? And check this out. When you exit out of this place, look what's on top of the building now. That clown, right up there. It was not there before, either. Really creepy. You're going to notice more will spawn around, too. The more we get in depth with this Easter egg. But yeah, a random clown up there. I'll go ahead and try to make my way up to it. I might have to use my power armor. So we're up here with it. See if I can get any closer. Nope, that's about as close as I can get to it. Yeah, this is about as close as I can get to it. But oddly enough, this clown spawns up here. And it was not there before. I'll show you proof of that after I show you the rest of this secret. I'll come back here on a different character just to show you it doesn't start up here. You can't interact with it or anything either. It's really weird. It's like behind an invisible barrier up there. But yeah, more will spawn around. You're going to find that out here in a second. I'm going to show you another area where you can go for something really bizarre to happen. So, from this shack that spawned that one, we're going to be heading this way. There's like serial killer clowns going on in the Atlantic City. And honestly, it may be even worse than serial killer clowns. Seems like a haunting or something happening. But yeah, if we head this way from that shack down this corridor, then head over here, down this corridor over here, you'll find the next little secret in this area. Right over here, you can find this guy. It's a kind of clown mannequin wearing eyeballs, and it also has a red nose. Looks like it slaughtered whatever was here. This person. You can see the blood in the background, and this states he see. I'll go ahead and zoom in on this one. Look at that. But yeah, you could take some things off of this and check this out. Freaking creepy. And doing this, it also chain reacted another clown to spawn somewhere too. But before I go and show you where that clown is, I'll go ahead and show you where to go for the next thing to spawn another clown in the area. So let's backtrack here. If we head this way, and then we're gonna head all the way over there, so let's make our way that way. And then over here, we can find a corner building right up here that's destroyed. The corner of the building is destroyed here. So let's climb up to this, and up here we can find this going on. Looks like this person is filming this mannequin with metal buckets on it. You can also find this little clown down here, and this states she see. I don't know what's up with all this. Once again, this is just such a bizarre and creepy secret Bethesda decided to add in, but I find it interesting. I like that they did this because, I don't know, just makes exploring around even more interesting in Atlantic City. But yeah, when we take these buckets off of this mannequin's head, check out what happens. There's a couple of them. Once again, we could find those eyeballs on her that were actually like cut out of someone's eye sockets and put on these mannequins. I think it was the serial killer clowns. But also, the music will start playing again. eventually. There it goes. So creepy. But anyways, now let's head back to the main area of the place. It'd be interesting if some of these NPCs like talked about these killer clowns that haunted this place or something. So weird. But yeah, triggering all of these little secrets that were around in Atlantic City spawned even more clowns. As you know, now there's a clown that spawned up there, which nothing happens if you shoot him, by the way. I'll show you that real quick. But as you know, that one spawned up there after triggering the secret that happens in that shack. Real quick, I'll show you. Nothing happens when shooting it. Unfortunately. I'll even toss an explosive up there. Yeah, nothing happens. But yeah, the other one spawns over here once you trigger that second one. It'll spawn this way from the beginning. It'll spawn right up here on this fire escape, as you can see. That's where the second one will spawn. And oddly enough, once again, can't do nothing to it. It's just up there. It looks just like the animatronic clowns that we can spawn typically at our camp, for those of you that know. Anywho, the third one will spawn not too far from this area. If we keep traversing, is it this way? Yeah, this way. Then head down this alleyway. We can find a third clown spawned somewhere around here. Wait, no, not this. We turn around, and yeah, it'll be over here in this destroyed rubble. We can find its feet sticking out. So 3 clowns spawned after triggering this. I think they're haunting the area. Alright, so like I mentioned before at the beginning of this video, I'm going to go ahead and show you all that these clowns don't originally spawn at these areas. Check this out. So, yeah, clown's not up there anymore. This area only spawns there after you pick up that picture. As you can see here too, the clown isn't up there on that fire escape anymore. And also, the clown isn't in the ground anymore at this area. Really weird. I don't know if there's more to this secret than what I've shown you. I'm not positive. This could be it. Either way, it's really interesting and figured I'd share it with y'all. Anyways, this next secret that you might have missed will be a part of the Wastelanders questline. You can discover a secret unique weapon during the Vault 79 heist with the Raiders. This is something that you could easily miss during this. It's completely optional to get. In order to get this, first off, to start the Wastelanders questline, you're going to have to be at least level 20. Once you hit level 20, you could tune in to the Overseer's broadcast within your radio tab on your Pip-Boy, or you can just head over to the Overseer's home, because that's where you're going to have to go anyways. You're going to have to go over to her home and talk to her. But yeah, once you talk to her, you will start the quest called New Arrivals. And this quest is the start of the quest line that leads you to do the Vault 79 heist. Keep in mind, there's plenty of other quests that you're going to have to complete before doing the heist, but this is the start of it. This quest will introduce you to the Settlers and Raiders. It's good to know that you are able to do the Settlers quest line, as well as, of course, the Raiders quest line. However, when it comes down to the quest where you're going to do the Vault 79 heist, if you want to get this secret unique weapon, you can only get it while doing the heist with the Raiders. So yeah, once you're doing the heist, you'll eventually get to a part within Vault 79 where Ra-Ra will be outside of a door here. And as long as you were friendly with Ra-Ra during the Raiders questline, she'll have an option at this part for you where she'll sneak through this vent and get into this room and open up the door for you, so you'll have access to this room. And inside this place, you can find a unique weapon called the Slug Buster. And this weapon is pretty good, especially against armored enemies like robots. Because first off, it's a plasma weapon, which does great against armored enemies. And on top of that, it has an effect that ignores 50% of your target's armor. So it's like doubling up on the effect of penetrating armor. And also the other effects on this are VATS critical shots do 50% more damage, which is a great effect to have, especially if you're like a sneak build. And it has 90% reduced weight. So yeah, as you can see, here's a little bit of it in action. It's not a bad weapon. It definitely has potential to be a great one, depending on what kind of build you have. Alright, so next up here I'm going to be showing y'all how to get the incredible looking Nuka-Cola Power Armor paint. As you can see, here's what it looks like. It looks phenomenal. However, keep in mind though, you can only equip this paint to T51B Power Armor. So yeah, that's good to know. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into how to get this. There will be quite a bit of steps. First things first, you're going to have to head over to Pylon V13, which is located over here in the Cranberry Bog. Once over here, you can find a duffel bag next to a corpse, and within this duffel bag, you can find a toolbox key. So yeah, once you got the toolbox key, you'll then want to head over to Watoga Shopping Plaza. Once over here, just head over to the outskirts of the Watoga Shopping Plaza, and over here you can find a locked toolbox. Go ahead and use the toolbox key to unlock this, and within this toolbox, you can find the key to Clara's box. And once you got that, just head over to where I'm exactly located at on the map around Sutton. Over here you can find Clara's box within this doghouse. Go ahead and unlock Clara's box, and within this you'll find the Nuka-Cola locker key. So go ahead and grab that, and once you got that, you'll have to head over to the Nuka-Cola plant, which is located right here on the map. And yeah, you'll have to head on inside of it, and within here it's pretty easy to find. Just take the route that I take. You have to head up these flight of stairs over here and go through this door, and then you'll find a locked door that you'll have to unlock, which by the way, there will be some enemies around in this Nuka-Cola plant, so keep that in mind. You'll have to take out a few enemies. But yeah, behind this locked door, you'll just have to head this way, and over here you can find the locker that you can use the Nuka-Cola locker key on. And within this, you'll find the TNT Dome Key 3, which is the last thing that you'll need in order to get this Nuka-Cola paint. Once you got the TNT Dome Key 3, you'll just have to head over to the Black Mountain Ordnance Works, which is located right here on the map. And you'll have to head exactly where I'm located at over here. So yeah, just head to where I'm at on the map. Over here you can find TNT Dome 3 right off the street. So just go ahead and use the key that you just got from the Nuka-Cola locker. And within here you can find a Nuka-Cola Power Armor paint. So yeah, that's how you get it. There's quite a bit of steps, I know, but it's definitely something to collect in the game, I'd say. Alright, so since I just showed you how to get the Nuka-Cola Power Armor paint plan, now I'm going to be showing you all how to get the Nuka-Cola Quantum Power Armor paint plan, which keep in mind this can only be used with the XO1 Power Armor. But yeah, this paint job looks nice, and it's incredibly secretive too, just like the Nuka-Cola Power Armor paint plan was. Takes quite a bit of steps to get it. So first things first, in order to get this Power Armor paint plan, you're going to have to head on over inside the Nuka-Cola plant, which is once again located right here on the map. Once over here, you just want to head on over here into the restroom. It will be locked, but it's only a level 0 locked door. So as long as you got bobby pins, you'll be able to open this up. Inside this restroom, you just want to look in the stall, and you can find the first item that you'll need to get this Nuka-Cola Quantum Power Armor paint plan right here on the ground. As you can see, the item is paired key card 1. So the next thing you're going to need is paired key card 2, which that's located all the way over at Tanagra town in the Maya region, which is located right here on the map. Once over here, you're going to have to climb to the top of this place, which in case you don't know how to get to the top, I'll go ahead and play the footage getting all the way up there. So yeah, once you're up here, you're going to have to enter inside this building here and jump across the little gap inside here, and you'll be able to find the second key card that you'll need over here. It'll be located underneath this junk item, if there are some junk items over here for you. As you see, it's paired key card 2. So once you got this, now you want to head on over to the crashed plane in the Maya region, which is located right here. Once over here, you just want to get the Nuka-Cola marketing access code from the suitcase underneath the crashed plane, as you can see. So yeah, once you have that, this is what you do at this part now. You want to head on over here to the Rose Room, which this is a fairly new updated location. Not too long ago they updated this area. And yeah, this is a free fast travel point as well. Once you get over here though, what you want to do is head around back of this building. We used to have to break into the back of it, like the windows used to be busted out over here. Like these windows used to be busted out. Now though, what we do at this part to get this power armor, we want to head over here. Bethesda randomly moved this terminal from over there to here. Yeah, but this is how you get it now. Once you're here, you just want to generate the one-time key, and this is the code that you're going to need to remember. Once you generate the key code, you're going to want to write it down, or hey, if you want to be brave, just try to remember it. Keep in mind this is a completely random generated key code, so if you enter it wrong at the next area that we have to go to, you're going to have to come back here and get another one, and it'll be completely different. Anyways, once you got the code, now you want to head over to the Overlook cabin, which is located right here next to Nuka. And once over here, you just want to make your way downstairs of the Overlook cabin. Once again, there may be some enemies for you to take on here, but nothing too difficult to take on. So yeah, once down here, you're going to want to use the 2 key cards that you got over here on these key card readers that are against the wall. You can find one of them right here, and you can find the one that requires the second paired key card right here. And once you use these, it will open up a secret wall door down here. So yeah, just head on over inside this place here, and in here you can input the one-time generated key code that you got over at Ingram Mansion. Once you enter it, that'll open up another secret wall door, which I gotta say, these secret wall doors are awesome. But yeah, this other secret wall door that opened down here will be located right over here, and within here you can find TNT Dome Key 7, which is what you need to get the Nuka Quantum Power Armor paint. And keep in mind, if any of these items are not here for you, that means someone in the server got it before you did. All you'll have to do is just hop servers, and eventually the item will be there. But yeah, now since you got the Dome Key, you just want to head on over to the Black Mountain Ordnance Works, and TNT Dome 7 will be located right here on the map. Just head exactly where I'm at on the map over here, and yeah, once you're over here, you just want to head off the street, and it'll be located behind these rocks. It'll be pretty camouflaged over here. But yeah, anyways, as you can see inside here, you can find the Nuka Quantum Power Armor paint right over here on the desk. And this paint job looks awesome. Anyways, these next few secrets will be over some hidden dialogue that you might have missed with the allies. Starting off with Daphne's secret dialogue. As long as you are wearing the Mistress of Mystery outfit, when you go and talk to her, you'll be able to choose the secret dialogue option. To find it, all you have to do is choose the dialogue option that states, I have some hero business I'd like to discuss. And then once you choose this one, as you can see, this dialogue option will become available. It states, if it isn't the Inspector, the Mistress of Mystery greets you. Once again, you can only choose this dialogue option while you are wearing the Mistress of Mystery outfit. As you can see here, for an example, real quick, I'm now not wearing the outfit, and I don't have the option now to choose. But yeah, now anyways, here's some things that she'll say when you choose this unique option, if you get the chance.
Marvelous Mistress! It's rare to see you outside the Den of Mysteries. What brings you here?
As you see, there's plenty of dialogue options you can respond with. Let's say I'm tracking down a mystery.
Ooh, maybe I can help. That is, if you don't mind having me for a partner. We are natural rivals after all. You're a Mistress of Mystery with tons of secrets to hide. And as the Inspector, I uncover secrets and I'm always poking around.
Now let's go ahead and say to her, inspect away, I have nothing to hide.
Oh, good. Sometimes my investigating leads me to people's things and I go through their stuff. I'm glad you weren't sore about it. It was a really important case.
So yeah, that's some things Daphne will say. But anyways, there's also another secret dialogue option you can get with the ally Maul. As some of you may know, Maul is absolutely obsessed with Grognak the Barbarian. And there's actually a secret Grognak dialogue option that you can get with him while you're wearing the Grognak outfit that you can purchase from the Atomic Shop.
You, human, are you Grognak?
As you can see, while wearing the Grognak outfit, you can get the Grognak dialogue option with him that says, what, you think I wear this outfit for fun? And here's how Maul responds to this.
This true. You do wear rags like King Grognak. Very shiny, like unstoppable board game Grognak. But you puny, more like classic first edition Grognak. Maul not sure.
So yeah, that's something Maul will say if you're dressed up as Grognak the Barbarian. Anyways, there's some more unique dialogue that I know of that you can trigger from the ally robot that you can have at your base named Adelaide. Heck, there's even a whole secret quest around her.
What can I do for you? Or to you?
So this is something you, once again, probably didn't know about. At least I didn't for a while. I had this ally for a while, but I didn't know she had a hidden quest that you can do. What we're going to have to do is actually go over to Atlantic City and find this secret note. So let's head over to Atlantic City and go to the casino quarter. And instead of starting a expedition, we're just going to travel to the district. Just makes things easier. You can do this as well during the expedition if you want, but traveling to the district makes it so you can just come over here and just, take your time without feeling like you're on a mission. Alright, so we're over here now at the casino quarter in the Atlantic City. Now when you get over here, you just want to head this way. We're going to be heading to the Neapolitan Casino at this area, but you can find it by taking the route that I'm taking now. Yeah, it's not too far from where we first spawned in at this place. This is the area right here. This is the Neapolitan. So let's head on inside. Alright, so once in the casino here, you just want to head right and go down this elevator right here. Really easy elevator to unlock too, so that's also a perk. Once you got it unlocked, just drop down into this elevator shaft. And then head back in this area right here. At this area, you can find a note over here on this table called Adelaide Reminder. Let's go ahead and pick this up and read it. This is what we want to return back to Adelaide, which is that weird Assaultron. As you can see here, it states here, let me spell it out for you bozos. Operation Bluebell will be taking place on Thursday. Not Wednesday like Jimmy was saying, Thursday. If nothing else gets through your thick skulls, just remember Thursday. Why do you need to remember Thursday? Because that's the day you need to stay away from the rehearsal hall. Boss has some plans for that rising star Adelaide and wants to see if they can't get their money's worth from her with a secondary purpose. If you hear music on Thursday, congrats, you're an idiot who can't follow instructions. Run away! She's been upgraded with a remote receiver for an unforgettable show. Got it? Good. If you have questions, read this note again. Alright, so now, once we have this note, ooh, Guns and Bullets 6, don't mind if I do. But anyways, now, once we have this note, we want to then return it back to Adelaide, and she'll have some interesting dialogue for us, as well as a new romantic option too. We will be able to literally make love to her. I know, very bizarre. We're able to, hook up with this robot. I don't know. I know there was, a robot like this in the past, too, in Fallout New Vegas. It was a robotic prostitute that went by Fisto. Yes, that was its actual name. So it's safe to assume how this robot got down. So, yeah, this isn't the first time Bethesda has added something like this in the Fallout universe. But anyways, let's go ahead and head back to camp and talk to Adelaide, now since we got this note. As you can see, when we go to talk to her this time,
are you here for business or pleasure?
We'll have this extra dialogue option now that we can say to her. I found a note in Atlantic City with your name on it. Let's go ahead and say this.
You'll need to narrow it down, darling. Anyone who could talk about me did talk about me.
Okay, so now let's go ahead and say to her, it didn't make a lot of sense, but it did mention an Operation Bluebell.
Now, why does that phrase ring a metaphorical bell? Let me check something. Keyword accepted. Unlocking. That unlocked something about my last performance. And about Frankie.
Let's say that doesn't answer a whole lot.
Frankie is, or was, my biggest fan. She came to all my shows, and would always stop by after to give me flowers or suggestions for my next song.
What happened?
Frankie was a girl that got tied up with the wrong made man. I don't know if it was a Capulet type situation, but I knew the family wasn't happy. He was following her instead of the Dawn. My boss told me to invite her to a rehearsal performance. Nobody else but me on the stage and her in the seats. During the chorus of my second song, everything went black. And when I resumed functions, she was dead. It was crystal clear that my laser killed her. no one was going to trust the smoking gun's innocence, so I skipped town.
Wow, so it seems like the mob put a hit on Frankie by using Adelaide here, since Frankie was a big fan of her. That's actually sad. I didn't expect something like this to happen with her. The mob like hacked her somehow to make her do this. Anyways, now we have two options here. That wasn't you. The paper said something about a remote receiver. You said you resumed functions. Did you ever consider you got hacked? Let's go with this one, yeah.
That sounds like passing the blame. But I suppose they could have done something to me during my routine maintenance. I tried to be more than a weapon. But I guess I can't escape what I am, huh?
You're not defined by something that happened to you. What's important is how you handled it. No, but you can own it and grow from it. I'm not going to kick you out if that's what you're wondering. At least not yet. Now let's go with the first one. You are not defined by something that happened to you. What's important is how you handle it.
But there's a chance it'll happen again. I don't know how I could handle it if I hurt you too. Thank you for telling me. And for letting me talk about this. Though, I think it may be best if we keep a bit of distance between us. At least until I can move beyond this remote control issue. But, enough about wallowing in the past. The show must go on. Back to my most important role. You know her. You love her. It's Adelaide.
Oh, that's sad. Anyways, let's say this to her. I think I know a way to fix your remote control issue.
Oh, really? Well, don't keep a girl waiting in anticipation.
So yeah, that was an extra dialogue option that we get to choose from once we had that whole conversation with her. Now there's a bunch of different options we can choose from here. If you had the robotics expert on, you could say I actually know a thing or two about the inner workings of robots. If you have intelligence 12 plus and higher, you can say I can alter some functions and make it incapable of receiving a signal. If you have luck 12 plus or higher, it says let's try something. Enter keyword ice cream. Or you can say I can hit your receiver with a hammer until we are sure it doesn't work anymore. Or you could say actually let me think on it more. Let's go ahead with the luck 12 plus option. Why not?
If you insist. Initializing software deletion. Fascinating. It seems that my memory banks have freed up some space. I have many questions, but the most pressing can be summarized by, how did you do that?
I think I heard about that working somewhere before. I guess Lady Luck was on my side. Let's go with that one. I guess Lady Luck was on my side. Why not?
And here I thought you were flipping through my manual to try and find my centerfold. Regardless, thank you, darling. I don't want to seem ungrateful, but, why did you help me?
Now, this is the big climax with her. As you can see, this option becomes available. It's a romance option that says, I want to be able to get close to you. Or you could just say, I wanted to set your mind at ease. Or you could say, I wanted to know you weren't going to kill me. Let's go with the romance option. This is so bizarre. Let's do it. Let's see what happens.
Oh, honey, I'm flattered. Really, I am, but look at me. Saying that I'm not like other girls is a bit of an understatement.
I like that you're different. It's fun. We may have different hardware, but I think we're still compatible. Let's go with the last one. You're never worried about being like someone else before. Why start now?
You're right. I'm like nothing you've ever seen before. I'm going to show you exactly what that means.
And the Tunnel of Love public event just popped up. Perfect timing.
I think this is the beginning of something beautiful.
Oh my gosh, guys. We just hooked up with a robot in Fallout. This is so weird. What were the developers thinking when they made this, dude? What the heck? Apparently, like I mentioned before, there was something like this in the past, too, with a robot that went by Fisto. So, let's see, though. Did we get a buff or anything after hooking up with her? Yes, we did. Human and robot interfacing. take 25% less damage from robots and do 15% damage against robots. Which, by the way, you don't have to technically make love to her or whatever to get this buff. You can also, you know, have her teach you about human and robot interaction, but it's still like the same thing. You're basically hooking up with her with that option too. But this is just a whole another little side quest with her, which I think is really cool. The developers did this with her. I hope there's more like this in the future. Anyways, now I'm going to go ahead and show you all some other secret reactions that you can get from her. One of them is if you have a camera out and just look at her, here's what she'll say.
If you're going to take pictures, at least get my good side. 20 caps per picture, darling.
Anyways, there's another secret reaction that you can get from her if you're wearing the Assaultron helmet. Let's go ahead and do that.
I know imitation is flattery, but I must ask, darling, where did you get that helmet?
Pretty neat little reaction you can get from her while wearing the Assaultron helmet. Also, she has a secret reaction if you go and talk to her while you're not wearing anything too. Here's what she'll say sometimes.
I see you're in the buff. I hope you're not expecting me to join you.
So yeah, that's what she says if you're not wearing anything and you go and talk to her. Anyways, these next few secrets will be over how to enter Vault 51 and also how to gain access to the boss room of Vault 51. This will also be how you find out some more lore over this vault too. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into these. First off, you can find Vault 51 from Vault 76 up here in the middle of nowhere, as you can see. It'll be located right here. And when you're over here, there's actually a secret button that you can press to open up this vault. You can find the secret button over here inside this trailer, as you can see. The button will be at the end of this trailer here, along with some dead vault dwellers. Anyways, once you press the button, that will then open up the vault door, as you can see. It's opening up now. And yeah, we can now officially go on inside. Pretty freaking awesome. Alright, so anyways, inside here, there's actually a few hidden key cards around to discover to be able to fully explore this place. So I'm going to be showing y'all where those are located at in here. There's also plenty of lore that you can find around in here, such as you can find some holotapes around and read some terminals to learn more about what went down here. There's also plenty of loot that you can scavenge too in here, and some you may even want to bring back to your camp and use the loot as decorations, such as this working desk fan here. This is a great item to put on display at your camp. But yeah, not only that, there's also a mini boss fight that we can take on in here too, with plenty of other enemies as well for even more experience. I gotta say, the mini boss fight is unique. It will definitely remind you of Nuclear Winter. Heck, what am I saying? Traversing through this place in general will remind you of Nuclear Winter. This was the waiting lobby after all. For those of you that might not know, this is where we waited at before the Nuclear Winter match started. I had some good times during that game mode. But yeah, anyways, the first hidden key card that we could find in here will be located in the atrium on the second floor. Up here, you just want to head into the laundry room, which is located right here, and it will be locked, but don't worry, it's a skill 0 lock, so yeah, it's pretty easy to bypass. Anyways, once you're inside here, you can find the key card on top of the dryer over here. As you can see, it blends well with the lighting in here. It can be kind of difficult to see. Once you got this, you just want to head this way over to this door and use the key card on this ID card reader. This will lead you to the next hidden key card, which will be located right here on this table. Anyways, once you got this key card, you'll then just want to head this way through this door and then head down these stairs and go through this door by pressing this button. And you can find the next door that you'll need to unlock right here. Just go ahead and use the key card on this ID card reader to unlock the door. And you can find the next key card in here, located right on this desk. There will also be a holotape as well that you can play if you want to. Once again, learn more about the backstory of what went down here. But for the sake of time for this video, I'm not going to be going over all of the lore. But anyways, once you got this key card, you'll then just want to head this way and head back to the atrium, which the atrium is located this way, right through these doors. Anyways, once you're back here, you'll then just want to use the key card on this ID card reader here to unlock this door, and you can find the final key card inside this room. It'll be located right here. So yeah, go ahead and grab this. This is the Overseer key card, which is the mini boss within this vault. I gotta say, it's pretty cool how the developers added this mini boss for us to take on. But yeah, you can find the Overseer room by heading up here. It'll be located through this door up here. Just go ahead and use the key card on the ID card reader here, and that'll open up the Overseer room. So yeah, once you're up here, you can find plenty of loot to scavenge around in this area, and there'll also be some lore that you can explore inside this area too. But if you want to find the mini boss fight, you'll just want to head this way through this door, and once in here you'll come across some enemies, so we'll go ahead and take these guys out. But yeah, once you go through this door, this is where you'll find the mini boss fight. And the boss is wearing power armor with Hellfire prototype paint, which we got this paint job by reaching Overseer rank 100 in Nuclear Winter, which was the max rank in the game mode. Yeah, it's pretty neat how the developers added this within Vault 51. After all, this was the waiting lobby once again for the Nuclear Winter game mode. And fun fact, in case you don't know, Bethesda actually made this vault accessible for us to explore around when they removed Nuclear Winter from Fallout 76. But yeah, pretty cool to see the Overseer in here wearing power armor that has the Hellfire prototype paint job on it. But anyways, not only is there a mini boss fight to take on within this area, you can also find a trunk right here that you can loot, and there'll also be some more lore over this place too. As you can see, you can read the Overseer's terminal here, and there's also terminals over here, which these are Zach's terminals. And one more thing that's good to know about within this vault that I wanted to show you all before moving on from this secret is if you head back to the atrium and then head over here through this door, this will lead to the stage here. And yeah, from this stage room, if you head this way and then head this way, you can find tons of instruments. You can find some snare drums at the bottom of this shelf. You can find some violins on the shelf, some violin bows, some trumpets, some flutes. There's even an acoustic guitar over here on the side, and there's some accordions up here higher up on the shelf, and there's even a steel guitar here as well laying up against the wall. There are loads of instruments in here that you can scavenge. You can break them down into junk, or you could use them for decorations by displaying them on display cases at your camp. And keep in mind, not all of these instruments can go on a display case. You can't display the acoustic guitar, the steel guitar, or the accordion yet. Don't know if Bethesda plans on changing that. Either way, figured some people, especially ones who love music, would like to put some of these instruments on display in their camp. So yeah, figured I would share this room within this vault before I completely wrap up this secret. Feel free to explore around this place for yourself. There's loads of things to find. Anyways, carrying on, this next one is a sneaky Fallout 4 Easter egg you can discover at the Riverside Manor. Inside the building here, if you head upstairs, you can find a terminal within this room. And on this terminal, if you go to fan mail and then choose the subject that states I have raw continuity issues, you'll find out that this is actually a complaint that was sent to Miss Rivers from Kent Connolly over the Mistress of Mystery. In case you don't know who Kent Connolly is, he is a huge fan of the Silver Shroud and Mistress of Mystery. He's actually responsible for the operation of the Silver Shroud radio signal. There's a whole quest line that involves him in Fallout 4. Pretty neat to see a little reference of him in Fallout 76. Anyways, these next few will involve the random encounter Insult Bot. In case you don't know, this bot's dialogue was written by Steve Massey, who is one of the developers for Fallout 76. It was said by him that the Insult Bot was inspired by the Zing Bot from the reality TV series Big Brother. At the end of the Insult Bot's dialogue, sometimes you can hear it say Zing, which is what the Zing Bot says after saying a joke or insulting someone, as you can see here for an example.
Ashley! Your smile lights up the room! Too bad it's the only thing about you that's great!
So yeah, without this TV series, we might not have ever seen Insult Bot in Fallout 76. The developer who actually added this into the game had mentioned that him and his wife would watch the TV series every year, and the Zing Bot helped inspire the Insult Bot. So yeah, pretty cool little fun fact about it. I gotta say, I love this robot that we can randomly find around. It's actually got me to genuinely laugh. You can randomly find it on the map in certain locations. Here's one location where you can discover it if you want to check this out for yourself in-game.
Target acquired. I considered attacking you on sight, but I don't think I could hurt you more than life already has. Zing.
Anyway, something else that you might have missed with the insult bot is the Office TV series Easter egg with it as well. At the end of some of the bot's insults, it'll state "Boom Roasted." This is what Michael Scott said to the other Office cast members after he got done insulting them. Check this out. Here's a couple examples of the bot saying it.
Target acquired. You humans attack me because you can't take a joke. Fortunately, your combat ability is just as bad as your sense of humor. Boom. Roasted. Target acquired. The smartest thing about you is that Pip-Boy on your arm. The dumbest thing is that you mainly use it as a nightlight. Boom. Roasted.
Yeah, pretty neat to see an Office Easter egg in Fallout.
Meredith, you've slept with so many guys, you're starting to look like one. Boom. Roasted. Kevin, I can't decide between a fat joke and a dumb joke. Boom. Roasted. Creed, your teeth called. Your breath stinks. Boom. Roasted.
Alright, so this next one is an Indiana Jones Easter egg that you could have easily missed during the Mother of Invention quest that's a part of the Brotherhood of Steel questline. During this, you'll have to remove a mysterious component eventually, and when you go to examine it, one of the options that you could choose to remove it is by quickly swapping it out with a heavy sack of dirt.
That doesn't sound good.
This is referencing an iconic scene that happened in the Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark movie. In the movie, Indiana Jones replaces the golden artifact that he takes with a heavy sack that he has, and when he does, chaos starts to break loose, just like in Fallout 76, except Indiana Jones wasn't getting attacked by robots. Pretty sneaky little Easter egg, especially how you can only come across this once per playthrough on your character. I know Bethesda did help make an Indiana Jones game. Actually, believe it or not, they added this part in the game. So yeah, it's pretty neat to see this in Fallout 76. Alright, so this next one's going to be a Skyrim Easter egg that you might have not known about. If you head over to Big Bend Tunnel East, which is located right over here on the map, and when you get over here, if you talk to the caravan member Rudy Fernandez, he'll sometimes say this.
Rudy has wares, if you have caps.
Yeah, what he just said there is actually a twist off of what a Khajiit merchant says in Skyrim. Check this out.
Far I have traveled to bring you these fine goods. Come and see what I offer. Khajiit has wares, if you have coin.
Pretty neat little Easter egg that Bethesda decided to throw in with this guy. Anyway, so this next one's going to be another Skyrim Easter egg that you can find over at Mount Blair Train Yard. Over here, you can find a Dark Brotherhood Easter egg up in this building. Just take these flight of stairs to get up inside of it. And on the desk in here, you can find a picture frame with the Dark Brotherhood symbol on it. And right above the desk on the shelf, you can find some blocks that spell out "We." And below on the desk, next to the picture frame, you can find some blocks that spell out "No." This is a reference to Skyrim when we joined the Dark Brotherhood. We had to take out Grognak the Kind for Aventus, and once we did, a little while afterwards, a carrier will approach you and give you this mysterious note that states "We know" with the handprint on it. This mysterious note was from the Dark Brotherhood. So yeah, pretty interesting to see this reference in Fallout 76. There's also another Dark Brotherhood reference over here next to Silva Homestead. As you can see, it'll be located right around where I'm at on the map, next to the location. Once over here, you just want to drop down from this bridge and then head this way, and this will lead over here to this corpse that was decapitated. You can find the skull from the body on this rock, as well as a machete, and most importantly, the Dark Brotherhood hand symbol is on this rock too. So it seems like the Dark Brotherhood might have done this. It's like the Dark Brotherhood is a part of Fallout's universe. This is pretty neat. Anyways, this next Easter egg will be located over here at the Pioneer Scout Camp. This will be another Skyrim Easter egg that you can find in Fallout 76. When you're doing the quest line to join the Pioneer Scouts over here, which you start this one by just going over to the Pioneer Scout Camp and talking with the robot scout leader. But yeah, when you are doing the quest line, eventually you'll have to take on some exams. And one of the exams that you can take is a medic exam. During this one, you can actually run across a question sometimes that states this: you're the on-duty medic at the archery range. Ricky goes out to retrieve his arrow during live fire and is shot through the knee. What do you do? Yeah, I'm sure a lot of you already get this reference, but it goes on here. There's an incorrect answer that you can choose that says, advise Ricky to give up on adventuring. This is great. This whole thing here is a spin-off over one of Skyrim's most famous lines that the guards say. Check this out.
I used to be an adventurer like you. Then I took an arrow in the knee.
Yeah, pretty awesome of Bethesda to make this iconic line an Easter egg in Fallout 76. After all, they did make Skyrim. But yeah, keep in mind, while you are taking the medic exam, you won't always come across this question. It is a random one that you can get. You may not come across it at all when taking the exam. Either way, I highly recommend to do the Pioneer Scouts questline if you haven't. Definitely a beneficial questline to do. Alright, so this next one will be the last Skyrim Easter egg that I'll be showing you that's in Fallout 76. This one is located down by Vault 96. It'll be located right around here on the map. When you get over here, you'll find a tractor hauling a carriage with 3 bodies tied up inside of it, along with a Nuka Shine bottle in it too. So this is also a potential spot where you could wake up at after drinking Nuka Shine. This is an Easter egg from Skyrim's opening scene where you wake up with 3 other people tied up. Check this out.
Hey, you're finally awake.
Yeah, that iconic scene. Cool Bethesda to add a little reference to it. Also, making it so we can randomly wake up here after drinking Nuka Shine makes this Easter egg even better. But yeah, that's all the Skyrim Easter eggs I'll be covering in this video. Let's go ahead and move on to the other secrets and Easter eggs you might have missed. Alright, so next up here I'm going to be showing you all how to get the Free Radicals face mask. This is a unique mask that you could easily miss during the Wayward's questline. And if you do miss out on it, you'll have to start a whole new character to have a chance at getting it again. It's a completely optional thing to get your hands on. And how you get it is by joining the Free Radicals crew during the Wayward's questline. Which, you start this questline by going over to the Wayward and talking to Duchess, who is the bartender here. After you talk to her, you will trigger the Hunter for Hire quest. And within this quest, you're eventually going to have to load a broadcast tape into a radio tower, and once you do that, you'll then have to return to your camp, and this will begin the first step that you're going to want to make sure you do in order to get this Free Radicals face mask. What you're going to want to do is try to join the Free Radicals crew when they do show up at your camp. As you can see here, you want to choose this option. I'll share, but I want to join your crew. Now where do I go to apply? If you choose this one, you'll come up with these dialogue options. I just went ahead and used the Charisma +2 one, which this one states, we've all been lied to. The treasure's not in Appalachia at all. It's in DC. And yeah, choosing this one made it so I stayed friendly with the Free Radicals and I didn't have to attack them. If you do attack them, you can just immediately quit out of the game and load back in, and it should revert your choices that you made against them if you do it immediately after choosing the dialogue options. Anyways, carrying on, eventually you're going to have to get in the Free Radicals base. If you have luck 4 and higher, you can just simply fast travel to the Free Radicals base, which is located over here at the West Virginia Lumber Co. And yeah, once you're over here, you just head up to the intercom and use the luck 4 and higher option where you just guess the password to get in. Anyways, once you're in, you then just went ahead and talk to Roper, the leader of the Free Radicals, which he's in the building here. And when you're talking to him, you want to make sure that you tell him, I want to join your crew as well. Anyways, once you tell him you want to join your crew, you then want to say something else to him that's basically friendly with them. You could choose pretty much any of these dialogue options as long as you're not acting hostile to him. I just went with this option here. And then, yeah, I ended the conversation by saying, okay, I'll bring you Crane's treasure. So yeah, the Hunter for Hire quest that's within the Wayward's questline is extremely important. That's where you're going to be getting the first couple steps that you need to do in order to get this Free Radicals face mask. Now you're just going to have to progress a little further in this questline. After you complete the Hunter for Hire quest, you will then get a quest called Strength in Numbers, which you'll have to complete that. And then after that one, you'll get a quest called the Elusive Crane, which this is the quest where you can receive the unique face mask. Eventually, there's going to come a part within the Elusive Crane quest where when you return to the Wayward, you're going to see Duchess and her crew all held at gunpoint by the Free Radicals. And when this predicament's happening, there are a couple dialogue options that you can choose, but I just went with this one here, which states, of course, boss, the place was pretty empty, but there was a weapon, which you do get a legendary weapon out of a machine during the Elusive Crane quest. Anyways, yeah, as you can see, after you choose that option, you'll get some more options here. You can either show Roper the weapon, or you could say, you know, it's not really that great. Just go ahead and show Roper the weapon, and by doing that, this will lead to these dialogue options here, which depending on your stats, you can choose different ones here to keep the weapon that you just got out of this quest, or you can just tell Roper to take it. But I just chose the Charisma 4 and higher one, which states you want your crew to be taken seriously, right? That starts with looking the part. You can't be seen with a weapon this unimpressive, which this led to me being able to keep the weapon and receive the unique face mask, as you can see at the top left of the screen. Reticles face mask added. Once again, this is something unique that you can easily miss out of this quest line. As you can see, here's what it looks like. Looks awesome. And not to mention, the Free Radicals are now friendly with you too, after choosing those options. Alright, so next thing that you might have missed is the unique cave diving suit. You can only get this in one location during a quest. And in case you don't know how to get this, you get this during the Brotherhood of Steel quest line, which you start over at Fort Atlas. That's where the Brotherhood of Steel is located at. Eventually, within the quest line, once you complete a few quests, after the Brotherhood of Steel property rights quest, you will start the Supplying Demands quest, which this is the one where you have a chance at getting the cave diving suit. Keep in mind, you are going to have to be at least level 20 to start the Brotherhood of Steel quest line, and if you miss this during the quest, you are going to have to, unfortunately, make another character to get this. So definitely make sure you grab it. But yeah, during the Supply and Demands Brotherhood of Steel quest, you head over to Kerwood Mine, which inside here is where the cave diving suit is located at during, once again, this quest. You will find it within this box here, right before you have to dive into the water to progress further in the mine. So yeah, definitely don't forget to loot this box. Once again, this is a completely optional thing that you can get during the quest. You're still able to complete it without it. As you can see, here's what it looks like. It looks nice, and it's actually beneficial too. It grants water breathing and immunity from water radiation and diseases. And to top it off, it has 1,000 radiation resistance too. So yeah, it's a nice suit to get your hands on. Okay, so next up here, for the next few things that I wanted to show you, I'm going to be covering 5 strange random encounters that you may have missed. I gotta say, these are pretty entertaining random encounters. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into these. Okay, so next up here, there is this unusual pipe sticking out of the ground that has a bunch of smoke coming from it. And we have the option to sniff it. Yeah, you heard that right. And well, here's what happens when we do. So as you saw there, our screen got extremely funky looking. It looked as if we just drank some Nuka Shine and was about to black out. It had that similar effect with the screen. However, we don't end up blacking out from sniffing this pipe. Man, that just sounds so strange to say. And I don't know about you, but the sound after sniffing it sounded pretty eerie to me. Made me feel like something was about to go down. It just sounded so strange. We do get a buff after interacting with it. As you can see, it's called Unusual Pipe, and it will restore our health by 4 HP per second, and this only lasts until that effect on our screen goes away pretty much. So it doesn't last long, but it will refill your health. So not much in particular happens when you go to sniff this Unusual Pipe. I will say though, this is the most strangest random encounter in Fallout 76 till this date. There's also a body that'll be next to the pipe. As you can see, you can loot a note from him that says pipe. And when you go to read this, it states pipe is life. Actually, a fun fact about this random encounter in the game, it was created by level designer Zachary Wilson, and here's what he had to say about creating it. You slave away for 2 decades honing your craft and obsessing over every detail, only to find that your most successful contribution to the art form is some nonsense you made at 8 p.m. on a Wednesday at the end of the project when no one was looking. And then as you can see within this tweet, it's a Reddit post that is titled, "At long last, I have found it in the wild. Pipe is life." So yeah, pretty interesting to get the thoughts of the developer over the random encounter, especially since this is such a bizarre one, but interesting at the same time. By the way, all of this info that I just mentioned about the developer over this random encounter can be found in the wiki over this Pipe is Life random encounter, just in case some of you may be curious on how I even got this information. And you have a possibility of finding this right above Tyler County's fairground, right here on the map. Keep in mind though, this isn't the only location where you can find this. Just wanted to clarify, just like other random encounters, there are other locations where you can find this at. This isn't the only location. But yeah, anyways, let's go ahead and get on to the next one. Yes, what you just saw there was an iBot leading a bunch of rad rats with some flute music. This is actually a Pied Piper Easter egg in the game. He was a guy that was able to get rats to follow him by playing a flute, or also known as his magical pipe. As you can see, they are friendly with you, and the iBot is just leading the way while these rad rats follow it. Keep in mind though, they're not always going to be glowing. For example, here, this time around, rad rat pups were following it. Now I did try to experiment around with this random encounter by taking out the iBot to see how the rad rats would react, and they just kind of stayed around in the same area where I took out the iBot, as you can see. I also tried taking out the rad rats to see how the iBot would react, and yeah, after taking them all out, I figured out that there's no reaction with the iBot either. Just thought I'd try it out though. Anyways, one of the areas where you can locate this random encounter will be right over here on the map. But yeah, anyways, let's go ahead and get into this next one.
Detected. Ooh, looks like you just stepped into the wrong power armor. Seriously though, get out. I'm coming right back for this, on account of running out of fusion cores. I'm just gonna get a new one. I find you in it, whoever you are, and I'm gonna be pissed. So beat it. Go find your own.
Okay, so as you heard right there, when you first enter this full set of Raider power armor that'll be located randomly around the map, the person who used to own this will actually start speaking from some sort of speaker that's on it or something. However, the person that talks doesn't continue talking while you're in this power armor. It's actually just a regular set of Raider power armor. The power armor isn't unique whatsoever. However, the encounter that we have when entering it is. It's a pre-recorded message that activates when entering it. So it's basically like the power armor's alarm system. And what's also cool about this random encounter is that you get different dialogue from the Raider when entering his old power armor.
Unauthorized access detected. Hey, thought you'd just steal yourself through the power armor, huh? Bad news, pal. This sucker's rigged. Gonna blow real soon. You try and get out? Boom! No, just kidding. It's all yours. I took a shit in the gut and I ain't got long. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it'll do you better than it did me.
Now, I was hoping that we could maybe encounter the raider that was talking, but unfortunately there from that dialogue, it seemed like he passed away. And not to mention, this raider power armor was in the game before human NPCs even came into Fallout 76. So yeah, there's a high chance that we're not able to encounter him. I will say though, he did seem like an upbeat kind of character, and probably would have made a great addition for the game as an upbeat character to interact with. Okay, so this next one I'm going to be covering this mysterious guy that you probably never have ran into in the Skyline Valley region. It is a mysterious superhero that goes by the Electrician. I mean, if you think about it, the electricians are like superheroes, especially for people who enjoy games. They help keep the games going. One of the locations where you can find them at is located right here next to the Big Meadows gas well. It'll be located right here on the map. So yeah, as you heard, he doesn't say anything, and he just vanishes within the lightning that just strikes down wherever he's at. He's a freaking superhero, dude. So interesting, right? I gotta admit, I did not expect this when I first encountered this guy. Actually, I was pretty lost on where he went after the fight, because I went to go talk to him and I couldn't find him anywhere around. And a fun fact over something interesting of this random encounter, Carla McKevitt, which is the lead designer for Fallout 76, said this. Flashback a few months ago. Me, I don't know guys, we've already locked voiceovers. I'm not sure we can pull off a random encounter like this. How will he thank the player? The team. Hold my Nuka Cola. And yeah, that's how he thanks the player. He just disappears in thin air like, thank you, soldier. Goodbye. So yeah, actually the Electrician and the associated random encounter, the Mole, were created after voiceover sessions were over with for Skyline Valley. So that's the reason why the Mole only speaks in Mole Minor, and this guy, the Electrician, doesn't speak at all. In case you haven't seen the Mole, here's what he looks like and sounds like. And you can't interact with them whatsoever. When you go up to him, here's what will happen. He'll just start attacking you. And he also makes Mole Minor sounds. Yeah, he sounds just like a Mole Miner. And the reason why this even took place is because the voice over sessions were already over with. But hey, at least we still got some random encounters in the new region. They didn't have to add any new ones at all, but they decided to just go with it and add these, which I think in general these are pretty creative and mysterious in their own ways. Like, I was genuinely curious about the Electrician for sure. And by the way, one place where you can find the Mole is over here in the Skyline Valley region next to the abandoned convoy. Okay, so these next secrets the developers added in will actually tell a story of something that happened over in the Skyline Valley region. In this area, you can discover these steel jack statues. And if you notice, they're always pointing in a specific direction. Well, it turns out they're actually pointing to different secrets that you can discover. And not to mention, a little hidden storyline too goes along with these hidden secrets that you can find. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into this. Hope you all find this enjoyable. But yeah, to start this adventure off, you want to head down here to the Shenandoah Visitor Center, which is located right here in the Skyline Valley region. Once over here, you just want to head this way and head into the restroom. If you look in the first aid box within this restroom, you will find B's Diary page 1. You can find B's Diary pages within each of these little hidden secrets around Skyline Valley. And it's a little storyline that you can dive into. I'm going to be covering it all in this video. So yeah, let's go ahead and read B's Diary page 1. Check it out. October 18th, 2077. First day on the job and I'm left with the last guy's mess. The park is in such disrepair. I've really got my work cut out for me. It's going to take me the whole year. No, maybe longer to get everything up to standard. And don't get me started with the steel jack statues. They are first on my list of work. I wonder what they're always pointing at. While I was leaving my room this morning, I noticed an interesting trail off to the side of the slumber mill to explore. I think I might have to sneak off tomorrow and see where it leads. So yeah, this is the beginning of our little hidden adventure here that you can find around the Skyline Valley. The next area that you want to go for B's Diary page 2 will be located right here in the region, kind of near High Knob Lookout. Over here, I'm just going to warn you all, you may encounter some bears, so be prepared for that. But if you head up these flight of stairs and head over here on this deck, you will find the first Steeljack statue that's a part of this secret adventure. Also on this Steeljack statue, you'll find a bobblehead, and right below it, a cap stash too, as well as some other goodies. But most importantly, if you follow the direction that the Steeljack statue is pointing at, you will discover the hidden secret. It's pointing in this direction right here. So if you just head this way, and you will notice if you go up to this stump here, this is actually a hollowed out stump, and you can find some caps in it and some other goodies, as well as B's second diary page. So let's go ahead and read this one. October 19th, 2077. During my little break today, I had a venture down the trail. I didn't have a lot of time before they noticed I had snuck off. Really got an earful about that. I came across a really cute tree stump with shrooms growing all over it. I had a little rest there before I got radioed back. I'll try and cover more ground tomorrow. I gotta say, this is freaking awesome. I'm so glad Bethesda thought of adding something like this in for explorers to discover. I bet they didn't expect players to discover all these so quickly though. Alrighty, so this next Steeljack statue will be located right here. It'll once again be at an unmarked location. Over here, it'll be at the top of a hill. As you can see, here it is. And once again, the Steeljack statue is pointing right over there, which leads to this hollowed out stump. And we also got a bunch of other random goodies, as well as B's Diary page 3. So let's go ahead and read this one. October 20th, 2077. Dang, I really got chewed out for disappearing yesterday. Everyone's so stressed over the delivery of the new Steeljack statue. I've told them 1,000 times the boardwalk is too heavy to hold a 3,000-pound statue, especially in a swamp of all places. I went back to my favorite trail to hide away from all the stress. I ventured a little further today. I followed the old wooden fencing until it reached a small rocky pass with a beautiful tree splitting the road. It was a peaceful place to have lunch. I'll try and go there again tomorrow. So yeah, once again, we got another hint over where one of the next Steeljack statues will be located at. Which, speaking of the Steeljack statue, you can find this information board up here on top of this hill as well as a carving on top of the information board. And there will be this dead park ranger here too. Spooky. I'm just kidding. But anyways, carrying on here, let's go to the fourth diary page. Alright, so this fourth page will be in between Old Rag Lookout, Slumber Mill Motel, and South River Bridge. It'll be located right here on the map. Over here, I'm just going to let you guys know there's going to be tons of ants that will spawn here. But yeah, at this campsite, you can find the next statue. And you know the drill. Just follow the direction the statue is pointing at, which it's pointing right over here at this hollowed out rock. Once again, you'll find some goodies in here, such as stem packs, Radaway, bubblegum, as well as the fourth diary page. Let's go ahead and see what B said in this one. October 21st, 2077. Sheep Pilker has his stooges Haley and Matthews keeping tabs on me. He said I should be spending all my time doing my job, and that the park is too dangerous to be just disappearing without letting anyone know. So, I managed to lose the dopes. I continued along the path until I found a trail leading off to the right. I found an absolute gem, a rocky overview. I can even see the camp from here. With a little bit of fixing up, I can spend all my lunches resting here. So, yeah, that gives us the next hint over where to go. And it seems like B might be getting a little too adventurous, not taking his job seriously and just wandering off. Anyways, let's carry on with this story, shall we? Alright, so for this fifth diary page, it'll be located kind of near the abandoned convoy, as well as Hemlock Springs Dump. It'll be located right here at an unmarked area on the map. You can find the statue down here, caved in, on this wooden walkway in this swampy area. Just like how it was mentioned in B's diary page 3. He mentioned that this was a 3,000-pound statue and it wasn't going to hold up this boardwalk. But yeah, you guys know the drill. You just follow the direction that it's pointing in, which it pointed over here. And over here, you can find this duffel bag up in this tree, which this will contain some things such as some caps, as well as the 5th diary page. Let's see what B said in this one. October 22nd, 2077. The Steeljack statue was installed today. What a disaster. How many times do I have to say a poorly built wooden walkway can only carry so much, and then plop, straight into the swamp water. I finished work early today. Borrowed one of the Ranger's utility cars to transport some bits to fix up the trail leading to the overview to make it more comfortable. I've hidden a small trinket cache in a stump next to the resting area and marked it with an axe. I plan on hiding my past few diary entries around the park. Maybe it will inspire more adventurers to explore this place. So yeah, we've discovered those past diary entries that he's speaking of, but this next diary page will be one of his last. And there's also a final secret diary page as well that talks about his tragic demise. So yeah, let's get into these last pages. So for these last final lore pieces, you can find them right down here in the middle of nowhere. It'll be located below the South River Bridge and the Slumber Mill Motel. Once again, it's literally down here at the bottom of the map of the new region. When over here, you'll find this beautiful location that you can place a camp at, I will say. This would be a nice spot to set up a camp. Really good area to explore around. There's also like this setup here too, to pose at, to take a picture if you want. Pretty cool location. And to top it off, there's a friendly Mega Sloth down here too that'll wander around. So it's like you'll have a pet Mega Sloth at your camp. Be warned though, there will be wolves that will try to take it out when you come down around this area. Just take out the wolves and yeah, the Mega Sloth will just wander around this place. But yeah, enough about this being an amazing camp location. You can find B's diary page 6 right here in this hollowed out stump with the axe in it, just like what he mentioned. He marked it with an axe. There's also a good chunk of caps in this too. See what B said in this one. Congratulations! You found Captain B's treasure and this wonderful overlook. Claim your prize and always keep adventuring. So yeah, a little secret adventure that you can do in the new region. And, not to mention, you can see where Captain B, unfortunately, died. As you can see. This is where he died at. A tree fell on him. And here's what the note that he wrote said. It's B's final note. Let's go ahead and read this one. The ground shook so hard, knocking me over. And as if my luck could get any worse, the dang tree pinned my legs. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I should have listened to the chief. Hope someone finds me soon. I'm so hungry and cold. So yeah, looks like he starved to death here. And also could have gotten eaten by some wolves as well in this area. You can find lots of wolves that will spawn around in this vicinity. But yeah, pretty cool adventure that leads you to an amazing camp location, and you get a pretty decent amount of caps too from looting these secret caches that you find around during this hidden adventure. Okay, so this next one's going to be at a location that you probably didn't even know exists because it's literally in the middle of nowhere up here near the compass. As you can see, it's called the Myers Eye. And at this secretive location, you can also find another secret within it. I'm going to show you all that. So yeah, something strange is actually going on inside this place called the Myers Eye. The Blood Eagles have actually found a way to get the Mirelurks friendly with them by like breeding them and raising them as one of their own. I don't know, it's just a bizarre story in here. But yeah, as you can see, a Mirelurk queen died in here from the Blood Eagles. That's the Blood Eagles doing. You can find lore that'll go over them around, but as you just saw right there, there was a hatchling next to this Blood Eagle. See, it says diseased Blood Eagle hatchling. And yeah, that was an actual little baby Mirelurk. Such a bizarre thing going on in here. It's like, I don't know, the Mirelurks are their pets or whatever. As you see, there's another one. Disease. Oh, son of a biscuit. I should have took him out first. I'll go back here. But yeah, this is probably the toughest guy in here. The one wearing the power armor. But yeah, diseased Blood Eagle hatchlings. Look at these. Only place where you can find them at. And I guess this may be like their cages. And you can see they got tons of eggs around. Mirelurk eggs. Look at these things. They are huge. It's crazy. They're literally raising them as one of their own. Kind of cool though, too, in a way. Yeah, the queen died right here. by the Blood Eagles. But anyways, another secret within this place that you want to check out that could be easily missed in here. If you head inside this area here, there's actually a secret wall back here that you can open up. Check it out. Alright, I'm gonna leave and come back. This is glitched out. Okay, I am back. I just hop servers. Will the button work now? Yes! That is so cool. Freaking love it. Oh yeah. That's so awesome. But also in here, this is like a whole armory. As you can see, look at all of this in here. Tons of stuff you can loot. Tons. Minigun over here. Ammo boxes. First aid. I mean, you're seeing it. Some junk you can break down too. Dude, guys, go here and just loot all this. Why not? Also, maybe even show this to someone you know. Just surprise them with it. I know the first time I came across this, I just thought this was so awesome. So, yeah. Figured I'd share it with y'all in this video. Okay, so this next one is going to be over a secret feature that you can experience inside the Whitespring Resort. When you get over here, if you head to the dining area, which is this way, inside here you can actually be waited on by a robot if you just sit down at one of these tables. Check this out. A waiter robot will come over to serve you, or waitress. How cool is that? The waiter or waitress will have different foods and drinks that you can purchase from them. Pretty awesome. Alright, so this next secret will be located right over here on the map. It'll be kind of near Somersville, right around where my icon is. When you get over here, the secret will be overlooking Nuka, which, as you may know, there used to be loads of water here where Nuka is located at, and then it just got all dried up after the apocalypse. But also, it turns out someone came here to marry someone. You can actually find a rare item, which is an old ring, underneath this trilby hat here. And if you go to inspect it, you can see that it states love, honor, and cherish. And yeah, you can equip this ring as well. And how I know someone came here to marry someone, on this holotape, if you play it, it goes over, you know, what actually went down here. Okay, so this next secret is going to involve another wedding ring that you can find around Fallout 76, and it's actually also involving an Easter egg too. If you head over here on the map next to the Nuka Cola plant, over here you can find this house, which, by the way, you can build a camp at this house too. But within this house you can find something extremely bizarre. If you head over here inside the bathroom, you can find a roach on the toilets. And if you go to check out what's in its inventory, you'll see that it has a wedding ring. So yeah, this is another ring that you can find in the game. As some of you may know, these are rare to come across. There's not many of them around. Also, this is referencing something some of you may be familiar with, and that is Final Pam, who was a part of the Monster Factory that you can find on Polygon. During the first episode of Monster Factory, Final Pam actually married someone called Rochi. This was a funny, iconic moment during the episode, and as you can see, Bethesda even enjoyed that episode so much they added the wedding ring to Rochi here on the toilet. Because during the episode, they gave Rochi a wedding ring, as well as a cryolator too. You can also find what Final Pam wore in here, and some other goodies as well that involves Monster Factory, like the hammer and clean coffee can. Yeah, the items were definitely thought out in this house to create an Easter egg to Monster Factory. You can even find Pam spelled out on top of the TV in here, which is, you know, referencing Final Pam. But yeah, I thought this was pretty awesome of Bethesda to show some love for their fans and added this into 76. Okay, so this next secret's going to be a bit longer, but in this one I'm going to be showing you how we can convince Initiate Dodge to go to Fort Atlas to connect with the Brotherhood of Steel that arrived in Appalachia. I'm also going to be showing you what happens when he does get over to Fort Atlas, as well as some unique dialogue that you might have not heard before. So yeah, hope you all find this enjoyable and you learn something new from this. Let's get into all of this now. First things first, there's this side quest that was added in the update One Wasteland for All to introduce us to daily ops, which you've probably done this side quest before because it's literally triggered by just entering the Cranberry Bog after that update. But there are some pretty unique options that I'll be showing you that you can choose from within this that you might have passed up and didn't know about. In the beginning of it, we can choose to go read this note that's at the bus stop, or we can just head on over to Vernon Dodge and the Watoga Towers. But this note kind of helps introduce the character a bit more before even meeting him. As you can see, this note's called Prove Your Worth, and it reads, "Want to prove your worth and honor to the Brotherhood of Steel? Meet me at Watoga Towers. If you're just a raider looking for trouble, think twice." This one didn't. Initiate Vernon Dodge, Brotherhood of Steel. And yeah, at this bus stop here, it seems like a bunch of raiders met with a terrible fate because of Vernon Dodge, which I think the developers added this scenario here to, for one, help us locate where he's at, and for two, to kind of introduce the character's toughness before even meeting him. This guy doesn't seem like a guy to mess with. But yeah, speaking of meeting him, now we know from that note, we gotta go over to the Watoga Towers to find him. And he's not far whatsoever from this bus stop. We're just gonna have to go into the elevator at the Watoga Towers and head to the 3rd floor, which the elevator will be located right here. Anyways, yeah, once we're in here, Vernon Dodge will be in this room, as you can see.
Let's have a look at you.
And he is really settled in here. There are loads of junk items in here that we can loot for scrap, or maybe something you want to put on display in your camp or something. There are plenty of junk items here to loot, but yeah, let's go ahead and interact with them now.
Yeah. Alright, you'll have to do.
So yeah, we get a few dialogue options here to say to him. We can say, what? Or if we have intelligence 1 and lower, which I purposely have on this build just to show you this unique dialogue option, we can say, "Oh boy, what do I win?" Or we can say, "Whoa, forget it, bye." Or lastly, if we have strength 10 and higher, we can say, "What the heck are you looking at, old man?" But yeah, let's go ahead and go with this option here because I feel like this is one I think many players haven't heard the response of before. And that is this one, "Oh boy, what do I win?"
Yeah, luckily I'm not looking for the brightest. It's the bravest.
Wow.
I'm Initiate Dodge with the Appalachian chapter of the Brotherhood of Steel. I got word that members from Mariposa are on their way here now. It's critical that I lay the groundwork they need to get a foothold in this region. Are you up for it?
So yeah, let's just go ahead and say, "I'm able to help, what do you need?" This is when Initiate Dodge will introduce us to daily ops. This is the guy who's in charge of the daily ops and talks to us while we're doing them. I'm just going to go ahead and skip this dialogue here and get into the next part, which is, as you can see, complete a daily op from your map. So yeah, I'll get back to y'all once I complete this daily op. Alright, so I've completed the daily op. Now I just have to go and talk to him again. And this will actually complete this side quest called Breaking Radio Silence to once again help introduce daily ops. We don't have to necessarily do this quest to be able to do daily ops. This is just something extra Bethesda added into the game to give a little introduction over the activity. Anyways, as long as we have progressed to the field testing quest that's a part of the Steel Dawn questline, there will be a new dialogue option that will become available to say to him. This is a little secret Bethesda decided to add in with Initiate Dodge. As you can see, this Brotherhood dialogue option becomes available to say to him. We can say, "The group from California is here. They are at Atlas Observatory." And here's how he responds.
Atlas Observatory, huh? Interesting. Hadn't considered that. You must know something I don't. That doesn't change my plans, though. Supporting the Brotherhood with daily ops is still of the utmost importance.
Now let's go ahead and say to him, you should join them at Atlas. They can use your knowledge.
A deserter like me doesn't deserve to just stroll up and pretend all is forgiven. I'll face my redemption in exile.
So as you heard, he talks slowly about himself being a deserter. And then we can choose from these dialogue options here, saying, "Okay, fine," or if we have strength 15 and higher, we can say, "Coward, you're just afraid to own up to your mistakes," or if we have charisma 10 and higher, we can say, "Look, we've all got our past, but you'll be more help to them in person. They need you." Now, in order to convince him to return to Fort Atlas, we're going to have to choose the strength 15 and higher option, or the charisma 10 and higher option. Or we can learn about his story and why he calls himself a deserter, and get another option that doesn't have a special requirement. All we need to do is just learn about his story on why he calls himself a deserter. And we can do that by, instead of choosing the option letting him know that the Brotherhood is here, we just want to go down and choose this one. I'd like to know more about you, Initiate Dodge.
Fine, but only since you came through for me. What exactly are you dying to know?
And then we just want to choose this option here. What's the real story behind you deserting?
Real story is that I was a naive fool. I left my post, let the Brotherhood down. Came back to more fallen comrades than I can count.
Now there are a few options that we can choose from here and still get to know the story. Let's go ahead and just choose this option here that requires 10 and higher luck. What happened? Did you just get lost one day?
No, well, shit, sorta. A little more complicated than that, but, where to start? Well, I was already a geezer when I joined up. Despite my years in the service, the Brotherhood ran me through the ringer with the rookies, the younger guys. Looked up to me, I guess. I had a soft spot for that youthful spirit. My superiors, though, like Senior Knight Wilson, they, look, the work the Brotherhood does, it's not easy, not safe. You need to harden these kids into solid steel to endure the dangers of it.
So, yeah, now let's go ahead and just say, sounds pretty rough.
It was rough. Nothing I couldn't shrug off, but the younger recruits were bending too far and sometimes snapping. One kid, damn it. Sorry. One kid got a lot more stick than carrot. Broke him. Went AWOL in the middle of the night. The old fool I am saw it as my duty to chase him down before anyone like Wilson took notice. And the time I caught the kid, we were a day out. Completely lost our bearing. We got waylaid by a group of passing raiders. Guess they saw us as fit enough for their fighting pits, but weak enough to get the drop on.
So yeah, that's why he considers himself a deserter. Now let's go ahead and say this. You were just trying to help that recruit. That's hardly deserting.
I abandoned my post all the same. Should have told Wilson right away instead of running off like some foolish hero. Spent the next decade or so slitting throats, caving in skulls, and doing anything I could not to be a corpse on the arena floor. Lost an eye. Lost the kid, too. That was a long, hard life to live. That is, until my latest handler brought me to the Watoga Civic Center fight pits. The smell of being so close to home got my blood boiling. Strangled the poor bastard with one of those collars, then ran like hell. I took a bullet from a search party, but I've been free of them since. Now I've just been limping around looking for any Brotherhood tech I can fix. Trying to make things right with a bunch of ghosts. Well, I still can. Yeah, but that's enough of the past. Hope you heard what you wanted. Leave me be for a spell, would you?
Yeah, as you heard, he has a pretty brutal story. Now, since we know why he deserted for that recruit, let's go ahead and talk to him again and let him know that the Brotherhood is here. And as you can see now, we've got this option here. You've told me your story, Vernon. You are no deserter. You would be invaluable to Atlas. Let's go ahead and say this to him.
Think so, huh? I guess they could use the knowledge rattling around this skull of mine. Fine. I'll pack up and head over soon. Oh, and, thanks.
So yeah, that's a way you can get him to go to Fort Atlas without the special requirements. But yeah, let's go ahead and now return to Fort Atlas and see what all happens when he's there. Alright, so I'm back inside Fort Atlas here. We can find Initiate Dodge somewhere in this main room here. And you may notice immediately he's wearing a different outfit than what he was wearing before. Before, he was wearing a ghillie suit up in Watoga Towers, and now he's wearing this special ops suit that we can get as a random reward from doing the daily ops. Thought that was pretty neat, but yeah, let's go ahead and see what he has to say when being here.
Knight Shin was looking at me again, wasn't he? You tell him I already took a bath a few days ago. That kid needs to get off my back. There's more important things than cleanliness right now.
So as you can see, there's quite a bit of dialogue options we can choose from here with him. Now this first one goes over more about the daily ops, so I'm not going to be choosing that one. I'm actually going to be starting off with this dialogue option here. Are you settling in?
Well, it's taken some time. Been a while since I've been surrounded by people who weren't looking to kill me in my sleep. Yeah, the scars I got from those fighting pits are more than skin deep, but yeah, I'm starting to adapt. Thanks for asking.
It seems like he's settling in just fine here, especially compared to his past. Anyways, let's go with this next option here. Let's ask him, how does the Expeditionary Force compare to the Appalachian chapter?
Well, this group operates plenty different from the Appalachian Brotherhood. A lot more talk about the ideological aspects of the organization. No matter which side of it they're standing on. We were fighting for survival at nearly every turn. It wasn't raiders, it was Scorched. Didn't have time for doctrine, at least not at my rank. It was a hell of a lot safer surrounded by these folk, though. Glad they're on my side.
So it definitely seems all around better for him here. Anyways, let's go ahead and ask him this. What are your thoughts about the members here?
Scribe Valdez is sharp. She just might be the pillar holding this whole thing up. Cooler heads only prevail when you've actually got a cool head around. Paladin Romani is charismatic. I was a bit put off at first, felt like it was all for show. Didn't take long to see her conviction is the real deal. Night Shin is... well, he reminds me of some people I served with back in the day. Couldn't say I liked those people, but I was glad to have them watching my back. Even if they were only watching so they could nag.
So yeah, that's his thoughts over Scribe Valdez, Paladin Romani, and Knight Shin. Now let's go ahead and ask him this. Any thoughts on the dispute between Romani and Shin?
I don't envy where you stand. One foot on land, the other on a boat setting out to sea. Do you hop on? Trust your captain to lead you right? Or stand firm on the land you know? Now, one thing's for sure. If you don't decide, your ass will be in the water before you know it. Think carefully going forward. That's all I can say.
That's pretty interesting. Anyways, we can also say, I like the new look. And here's what he says when we say that.
Thanks. Keep working your ass off on those daily ops and maybe I'll throw a set your way. Just so you know, the eye patch isn't included.
That's pretty cool. A little nod to his outfit being a reward from the daily ops. However, as you heard, the eye patch isn't something you can get.
You too. Stay safe out there.
Anyways, yeah, so that's all the responses from him with both Paladin Romani and Knight Shin alive. Now let's go ahead and check out what Scribe Valdez has to say about him. Since he brought up her, let's see what she has to say about him. Okay, so sweet, there is a dialogue option we can choose from. As you can see, we can ask her, have you gotten to speak with Dodge from the West Virginia Brotherhood?
Yes. He's quite the interesting guy. He really familiarized himself with the proprietary tech that the West Virginia chapter developed. He's been an excellent source for archiving their research. I'm glad we could give him a safe place to stay after all that he's been through.
So, from Scribe Valdez, it seems like, this guy knows his stuff and is beneficial to this place. Now, let's go ahead and see what Knight Shin has to say about him being here.
Are you following your regiment?
Okay, so we can ask him, have you met Initiate Dodge yet?
You mean that slovenly deserter you decided to send to our doorstep? Yes, I've had the pleasure. If he sticks to playing around with those radios and stays out of the way, I won't object to him being here. And as long as he pitches in on bathroom duty, like everyone else.
Alright, so it seems Knight Shin does think of him as a deserter, but has no problem with him being here, as long as he just continues to do his work and stays out of the way. And I'm sure over time, maybe Initiate Dodge could earn Knight Shin's respect. Possibly, I should say. Anyways, now let's go ahead and see what Paladin Romani says over him being here.
Do you have any questions about your duties?
So we're able to say, looks like Initiate Dodge is settling in. Let's see what she says about that.
Indeed. I have to thank you for sending him our way. I had always hoped a survivor from the original crew held out. It's quite the honor to meet him. He wasn't exactly high-ranking, but he's already offered valuable insight into how the West Virginia chapter survived here as long as they did. It wouldn't be appropriate to involve him in current affairs, but supporting his daily operations will be of great use to us.
So it seems overall Paladin Romani has nothing but good to say about him and thinks he's very beneficial being here. And there you have it, everyone. 76 secrets as well as some Easter eggs that you may not have known about in Fallout 76. This took absolutely forever to compile together. Once again, this is the longest and most edited video I have ever compiled together on the channel. So yeah, hope you all found this enjoyable, and if you could, consider supporting it by leaving a like and maybe a comment, and heck, possibly share this with other Fallout fans. But yeah, I'm out of here, everyone. As always, most importantly, I appreciate you all so much for taking the time watching and listening to this. Until next time, peace.